topics up as they go, kind of just going on with the flow. So welcome to the show. Sit on your chair and just go press play. Coming to your screen now without delay. Listen to the rant any time of day. When you have three people with a mic that talk about all the weird things they like, making all the topics up as they go, kind of just going on with the flow. So welcome to the show. Sit on your chair and just go press play. Coming to your screen now without delay. Listen to the rant any time of day.
Well, now they
Wait,
can
can-
hear us, so they can hear you
Oh
say
wait,
good
what?
morning,
Wait,
Odie.
oh no. Oh no. I'm very shy. I'm not sure I'm okay with that.
Guys, Max here has never, like, talked to people before.
I mean, in general, I talk a lot to myself.
So make sure you make him feel really welcomed. Because if not, he'll cry.
Yeah, very likely. More likely than you think.
Oh my god. You're an idiot.
Only one of
There's
three.
three of us here.
That is true. Wait, you guys
kind of
can't
a
be
thing.
idiots. You can count.
1,
can
2,
we?
applesauce.
The
Yeah, that's the
your
thing.
cover's, your cover's blown.
God knows there are more than 3 idiots out there, but we can't count
What?
past 3, so that's why we are limited to only 3 on this show. Proof of true idiocy on our end.
If you
Don't worry,
spell
folks, we'll start soon.
applesauce
Just
with
tweet
just
them.
A, you can call it.
Yeah, okay. See, Lauren, you're
Yeah, who gave the woman a TikTok account? Seriously.
No, I was about to say. Was someone on TikTok this morning instead of interacting with people like a normal human being?
First of all, 8 a.m. is too early to be interacting with anybody.
Oh.
All 3 of us live with other people. I think that's an emphatic lie.
I mean, if you're the first one awake and everybody else is asleep.
I never
Then-
sleep.
yeah.
Of course I am. Can't be the first
Like,
one
to be fair,
awake.
it is 10 a.m., which is an appropriate time to be talking to people.
I'm just saying, you can't be the first one awake if you never sleep. Because being awake implies that at some point you were asleep. I'm never asleep.
Oh, insomniac humor. Still the best.
We will never sleep, because sleep is for the weak. And we will never rest till we're all fucking dead.
Yep.
Say it as well, yawning.
Shut up.
This show is on fire. This is like...
Shut up. I didn't mean to yawn. It kind of... Shut up.
Da, 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 da.
Da 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 da. And
Oh, that's a good point. Twitter. Is this what you're doing? Yeah.
yes, I am doing the Twitter. Chris,
The Twitter. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Ooh la la la.
Got some lovely, lovely people in the chat. Hello.
Oh hello. We are live.
I am so...
I say this and then it drops by one viewer. I'm like, oh, okay.
Wait, what? No.
I said we got lovely. I'm like, I'm sorry. Did you not want me to acknowledge that you were here and supporting the show? I'm sorry. Oh, now it's 13. Never mind. It worked. Yay! Guilt tripping works.
I mean,
it always did.
The best advertisement tool is gaslighting. I know this. How do you think we get like anyone to go watch Awkward Cast? We're just like, I guess if you don't want to watch your show, it's fine.
It's fine.
We'll just talk about the things we've watched alone.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, I guess.
You have to say you're fine, but you're not fine.
I'm fine. We worked hard on these assets for the podcast and stuff, but you don't have to watch. It's fine.
Yeah.
I hate that the viewers are going up the more I say this.
This is fine.
Oh, hello, Diamond Bat Tunes. First
Diamond
time
Bat,
you can
hey.
make it to one of these things live. Yeah.
Oh my. We just popped Diamond's first time live cherry.
Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Three Idiots, where three idiots do things that are way out of their pay grade.
Wait, I get paid?
It's a figure of further.
Yeah, I want to know the
right
figures. I want to know the figures. Please tell me. I mean, Disney is involved, also very tiny Disney. Looking at the chart.
Well, this is the group shot. That's us, not the one that I.
And Spot's here. Hey, Spot.
Who's
Spot?
Spot is a friendo from the Lupin community. Hello.
Oh my.
Oh, ew, trash! Get out of here!
Are we going to raid Lupin today?
No. God.
Bracket battle. All Lupin incarnations against each other.
Yeah. Can't wait to hear you bullshit through that, Mr. Barely watched like 3.
I was about to say, I have watched an episode or 2, maybe, of some incarnations. There are like 3, right?
Yeah, there's like 3. There's
like 3. Yeah.
3 Lupins.
How many star in the sky?
I mean, Lupin's the third. Oh, yeah, Lupin's the third. Makes complete sense. There are 3 of them.
Oh, thank you, singing guy, for the $5 saying hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, the furry's that's the one that's actually saying hello correctly? Gross. Don't act like you're normal.
Go on my Twitter account and you will instantly be taught a better.
Lesson?
So,
we
have a big opening question here.
What's the big
a
opening
big decision
question?
to be made.
What's the big opening
So,
question, Maxie?
Last time we made, with a lot of tears and sweat and blood and cursing, we made our way through the preliminaries, which are now all on the left-hand side of the big chart.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have an entire right-hand side of the big chart, where we haven't even talked about a single movie ever.
Yes, so I think we should at least start with the right side today.
So today's right side. Okay, I was about to ask, like, what are we going to do? Do we left side or do we do right side?
No, we're gonna do right side. So, folks, welcome back to Bracket Battles, where we make movies that probably should never, like, go to competition with each other. Duke it out to try to be the arbitrarily best one.
You mean objectively, I hope.
Oh,
what is more objective than the combined opinions of 3 idiots?
Man, you should be an executive.
Our word is law.
But yes, last week, if you were here, we did the preliminaries to get this to bracket size. So if you don't see
I wasn't
a movie,
even here last week.
If you don't even see, well, last month, time is meaningless.
It's a construct.
It's a flat circle. It's a flat circle, and every day is just a weird Groundhog-esque day. Except we keep getting older, and then we'll die. But anyways, last month we...
We're only getting older.
Shut up!
Seriously, what are we? Mothers of Disney characters?
Okay, I'm just gonna... You can't see this because you're not seeing the stream. I'm just gonna move you, like, away.
I mean, I see it, but with like a minute delay or something.
There you go. Just moving you away from me so I
It's
don't
like
commit
15 seconds. Don't be
commit,
dramatic.
an action. There we go. But yes, so if you don't see a movie, you know, we probably killed it last month. Fuck. Great start. You can give me money and then I don't have to stay up all night working. By the way, that's my gaslighting.
I forgot my numbers. Chat, how many did I claim last time I have not watched? For the people who pay more attention to myself than I do.
I mean, you said there was like at least 5?
Something, and I know that some actually got kicked in the preliminaries, but also that there's still some left.
Yes.
I guess I can just stare at the list and try to figure out how many I haven't seen.
To answer Diamond Bat, Marvel technically does count as Disney, but this is not the kind of bracket
this is
for
specifically
Marvel.
Disney animated films.
Yes.
But anyways.
But good question, but it is a good question. I know some people are just jumping in and they didn't see this till now.
In terms of right side battles, we have Lady...
Whoa.
Lady and the Tramp versus 101 Dalmatians. Moana versus The Little Mermaid. Peter Pan versus Dumbo. Alice in Wonderland versus the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie. Jungle Book versus Fox and the Hound. Tarzan versus Aladdin. Sword in the Stone versus Big Hero 6. And Raya and the Last Dragon versus Pocahontas.
I can, for every single of those matchups, I can see what your association was. I'm not sure if this is good or bad, yes.
Oh, dude, I would love to see what you thought the Sword in the Stone Big Hero 6 one was.
Leftovers, because everything else has one.
No, I was gonna say a boy and his companion. Because technically, it's Wart has Merlin, and then Hero has Baymax.
Okay,
One is a barely sentient robot with very basic mothering.
I said it's a boy and their companion. I didn't say. I never had to say, but it was like.
The other one is Genie 0.1.
Guys, we're not there yet. Stop it. Shut up.
Look, he asked for the association. That's what I'm giving. He can sit down.
I mean,
I am already.
He is sitting down. But like, you can have a little kid sit at a restaurant and they'll still throw a tantrum. They don't have to be standing or sitting.
Exactly.
In fact, more often than not, making the kid sit down is what causes the tantrum.
I'm just efficient.
No, I mean, it could just be like that kid at Schillerberger that you pushed down to the ground. You monster.
And I would do it again.
Totally.
So, how about a dogfight?
Yes. So, our first matchup. Lady and the Tramp versus 101 Dalmatians. Lauren, you're the only one here who actively is owning a dog right now. You get to go first.
Well, oof. Dang. So, Lady and the Tramp is a gorgeous film. I love the dynamics of the characters in it. You know, I love that it's kind of sort of like a coming of age story for, especially from Lady's perspective kind of thing. But 101 Dalmatians is a fun romp. You got a whole assortment of fun characters. Cruella de Vil's a freaking fantastic villain. She's absolutely insane. Man. You know what? I come from the perspective of somebody who literally owns a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, which is the actual inspiration for Lady and the Tramp.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much a Cocker Spaniel. Don't be fooled by the MSM. No, I'm just kidding. They'll tell you it's a Cocker Spaniel, but really. But yeah, fun fact anyway. But anyway, with that being said, I'm gonna betray the Spaniel relation, go to 101 Dalmatians, if not purely because there's so much to 101 Dalmatians in terms of you have you have this wild and crazy adventure, you have a highly memorable villain. And also is when you have the mute cute is like so cute. Like I know that's repetitive to say, but I mean I'm sorry, that's the first loves meeting in the park is absolutely adorable. And I love all the puppies, like the ones that were at least the 15 that get the personality focus. And
you're thinking of the show. I believe it was only 2 or 3 in the movie.
My point is they still get names and stuff.
Either. I mean, the 90s show only had like 2 or 3 that got personalities. 101.
Yeah, they got it was like 3 in the show. Yeah, but anyway, I'm gonna go with 101 Dalmatians. I'll keep it short and sweet there.
All right. Fine. So we got 1 for the spotted dogs. Fun
what about
fact.
Yuki? Oh.
Fun fact. That the year 101 Dalmatians came out, Dalmatian puppies became the most wanted breed for Christmas. It also
then they have been overbred.
It also became the highest percentage of the shelter population about a week after Christmas that year.
Oh boy.
Don't get Dalmatian puppies if you're not prepared to take care of them. They're very high energy and high maintenance babies.
They also lose their hearing like most of the time, which is why they're often used on fire trucks, because then their ears aren't affected by the sirens. So the more you know. And
don't get a cavy. They're high maintenance, and they're high maintenance. Get a beagle. That's the moral of this story.
Beagles aren't high maintenance.
Yeah,
No, they're just
beagles
loud.
are traditionally known for being very low energy, very calm, very quiet,
get
like all
yourself
hunting dogs.
Yeah.
You get yourself a basset hound. That's if you want a beagle that isn't high maintenance.
It's a stretchy beagle.
It's a big stretchy beagle.
All they are is that when you hear them howl, you know that they're howling. But they're too sweet. Okay, so Lady and the Tramp versus 101 Dalmatians.
Yup.
See, Lady and the Tramp's a very cute movie. I love the concept that you only see like the legs of the humans and stuff because humans are icky. I love Lady. She's really cute. One of these movies has one thing that the other doesn't, which is racism.
Yeah, isn't it great?
Yeah, I know. But I mean, Cruella de Vil kind of just knocks anything out of the water. She's so delightfully despicable that it's just so good. And I mean, the song Cruella de Vil is like one of the best songs Disney ever made.
I love it's a song made purely out of spite by one character to another. It's so funny.
It's a subtweet. Without, even though it is actually saying her name, so.
Yep.
Call out post.
Well, I'm just saying in general, the concept of somebody making a song out of spite. It's funny to me. Yeah. They're like, I'm gonna get my frustrations out in song form.
So some people have created entire film studios and franchises out of spite.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, I work at one. But hey, you know what? It made some amazing, great films. So you know what? Hey, sometimes spite's the best motivator.
Yeah, deadly.
But okay, so I choose the Spotty Boys. Max,
oh boy.
Do you think you can convince any of us, or is this going to be a sweep?
I mean, here are my convincing arguments. I hope you are prepared for that. I mean, first of all, Hugh Laurie, great thing. Always in favor of Hugh Laurie. Then there's of course the video game. I like that they do the modern thing where they include stuff like video games, nah? That you don't always get this. I'm not sure what song you're talking about, but nice attempt, Billy. But yeah, 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah, okay.
With Glenn Close. Glenn Close, also very good.
You do know we're talking about the animated film, right? For the sake of...
Wait, what?
We're talking about the animated one, yes.
The cartoon, Max.
This is a cartoon lineup.
There are animated Disney movies?
Yeah.
I mean, the last few years when I went to cinema, it was all live action.
Yeah, you're part of the problem.
Nah, fun fact, I haven't seen a single live action. Oh, wait, no, I have... No, I believe that's the thing. Have I seen Aladdin in cinema on a plane? I probably only saw it on a plane.
What about Cruella? Did you see Cruella in a cinema?
On a plane.
On a plane.
Because Dalmatians killed my mom, okay?
I'm sure there's some people who believe animation killed their parents, but there you go, our first decision. 101 Dalmatians takes the first victory.
And now the water battle.
Yeah, this
totally not themed.
This one's gonna... I feel like this one's gonna get us some judgment from people.
Ooh, boy.
Alright, Moana versus The Little Mermaid. The beginning of the Disney Renaissance versus...
the very end of it.
Movie.
Nothing good came ever after.
Movie.
The beginning of the Lin-Manuel Miranda era of Disney.
The movie with the funny crab. They both have funny crab. Well,
what about
oh my god!
Jesus.
I didn't realize.
They both have a crab.
They both have crabs.
But once again, one of those movies has racism.
Oh, sorry, I had to realize. Yeah, you're talking about the black. Are you talking about like the blackfish who sings? Da, 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 da.
Oh no! I mean Sebastian
Moana
being
doesn't
Jamaican.
Have racism in it.
That's not racist. That's.
What's the actor Jamaican?
If I remember, he was. You know what?
Yeah, what? Yeah, please don't. Give me back this shovel, Lauren. Come on, come here. All right, but Moana versus Little Mermaid. You know, Max.
Samuel Wright. Yes.
Is he Jamaican?
Let me see here.
That was the question, not who is his name.
Well, I mean,
he had a voice actor.
Actually, he's from South Carolina.
Okay, that's not Jamaican.
I know that's Carolina, but I'm like, my point is, he's not alive anymore either. So,
So you're shitting on a dead person. Good job, Lauren.
I was not. I was trying to back him up. You're the one that was saying he was racist.
For all your gaslighting needs, call the A&Y.
So where were we?
Yeah, you know what? You put all of us in this position. It's not even Sunday. You can't. But you bring the awkward, so you get to be the first one to pick. Moana versus Little Mermaid. You little blue-haired criminal.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah, people, you can go look up Samuel Wright. It's WRIGHT, and you can you'll have your proof. It's like it doesn't have to be Jamaican. He was a very talented movie and Broadway star. So just go do that.
The moral here is don't listen to Max.
Anyway, so Moana versus Little Mermaid. So here's the thing, I haven't watched Little Mermaid in forever. We had it on VHS, which is kind of the running theme with all those classic Disney movies.
Like all your movies from the 80s.
Exactly. So I have watched it over and over as a child. However, so did I do with Beauty and the Beast, and nowadays I can't watch it anymore because I'm so bored out of my mind of it. So I am afraid what my modern day opinion of Little Mermaid would be. Also, I have exclusively watched the German dub, I believe. I never rewatched it in English after I learned speaking English. So, fun fact, I only know from hearsay that Sebastian's voice is in Jamaican. In German, he has no accent whatsoever.
You bastard person!
You can't...
So currently I'm trying to work through my, there's this bias about something you experience more recent. So trying to work through my whatever the name of this bias is regarding Moana, because I'm leaning towards Moana because of I have seen it more recent, However, here's the thing. Beauty and the Beast, one of those classic movies where I learned songs, where I watched it over and over, where I watched the show afterwards and whatnot. I dare to say that it left the absolutely egocentrical argument, saying nothing about the quality of the individual movies, but it left a bigger impact on me than Moana did. And now this might absolutely due to the fact that I watched it as a child on VHS over and over, compared to Moana, which I watched 2 or 3 times in recent history, where there were a bazillion movies that I watched. But yeah, I want to give it a fighting chance, especially since I have the feeling that Moana gets at least one advocate, and then it's all down to Lauren. So yeah, I say The Little Mermaid to keep it interesting.
All right. So you're like a third-party voter. Okay. Yeah, voting this to make it interesting. All right. So.
What could ever go wrong with this attitude?
Totally. Okay. Ariel's a little bitch. No, well, I don't like Ariel. Ariel is my least favorite Disney princess besides Merida. Why
are you just reading what Odie's typing in the chat by now? Do you have not your own opinion anymore? I'm so sad.
There's this thing you can do with your mouth where you make your lips touch each other and you don't release any air. It's called being quiet, and you should
I try it. I'll try it now.
Okay. Anyways, so here's the thing. I love The Little Mermaid. It's a good movie. It's very well animated. I mean, Ursula is the best. Like, all this great stuff. I only really started to like Ariel in the movie when she didn't have the ability to talk.
I'm noticing a theme here.
What do you mean? Oh yeah. Yeah, you're just playing Ariel right now. But like, I never like got into her character and her motivations. Especially like, it was the fact that it went from her wanting to just see all these new things and experience all these new things to a guy. Like, I feel like the whole, like, I want to see the world thing is a more interesting motivation than, I want to be with this boy. He's a handsome boy and I want to be with him. Time to get rid of my voice to the obvious dark evil witch lady who's surrounded by crying barnacle people. This is totally safe. Ha-ha! And so it really hinges down on the protagonist here. And I think Moana's a great protagonist. She cares about her people. She's strong, she's independent, but she's also flawed, because I love the fact that they made her not like super proficient at sailing, like just cuz. Like, she was actually shitty at sailing for most of the movie. And I mean, the songs in Moana are great. Who doesn't love You're Welcome? Come on. Or How Far I'll Go. Or Shiny. We wouldn't have Shafrillas if it wasn't for Shiny at this point.
Exactly.
So I think, and without Shafrillas, we wouldn't have Why Shrek 3rd is a cinematic disaster. And that video is like quintessential to the internet.
Wait, and Shafrilla also made the Megamind is a masterpiece video, didn't he?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And it's all because of Moana, not because of his own creative endeavors. It's all because of Moana. But yeah, I also, to show how much I loved Moana, I saw Moana about 4 times in cinema when it came out. I saw it like twice in American cinema. Then when I visited Germany, we went to go see a screening of it when it was called Vaiana.
We didn't. I was about to say.
And then I watched it again, when there was like a small little re-release in my area, it was almost my Zootopia. Like how AC Ray's Best watches Zootopia, except I'm not a crazy
It's funny because they came out the same year.
Yes, Moana's better than Zootopia. Fight me.
Well, we will later on, I assume. Wait, where's Zootopia?
Zootopia's on the other side, so unless Zootopia fucking makes it to the end here. No, wait! No, Zootopia!
No, Zootopia got slaughtered.
We killed it in the preliminaries? We monsters. What the hell happened last episode?
You were there!
Apparently I suppressed the memories because it was too cruel for me to live with.
Uh-huh. But yes, Lauren, you are the hinging vote. Max voted for Little Mermaid. I voted for Moana. So no pressure, but, you know, our opinion of you for the rest of this episode is going to hinge on this. No,
yeah, basically.
Without skipping a beat, I will stand by my girl Moana. So I just like I'm like, first of all, I don't want to have to say it's like it hinges on the trope of you can't marry a man you just met. Like literally, Ariel gives up her voice. I know she's like, I want to go be in a part of a different place, right? She wants to be out and be part of a different world, but she also gives up something for somebody she doesn't even know. She saw once, got kind of sort of like did a little, rescued him or whatever, but he didn't know her. He didn't know. He just woke up and and he saw like the faint image of a woman sitting over him going like, oh, maybe she rescued me. He didn't know who she was. And it was like kind of like, I don't know, it just, there was no foundation. I like that Moana didn't have to be a romantic story. You have a well-rounded, imperfect heroine to lead the story that also has like she has a fun ragtag group of a demigod, a chicken, and well the pig would have been there, but they wrote Pooh out. But anyway.
Oh no, Eddie! Look, if it means anything, Max is supporting Ariel. So you have one person who's supporting her.
I'm actually not, and I'm so glad that Lauren is going for Moana, because I was like, shit, what if Lauren actually goes for Ariel? Then me making it interesting actually would backstab Moana.
I like... See, now what I like about Ariel is far more is like, even when she has no voice, I like seeing how she is on the land, like, even when she can't verbally express it, I like seeing her there. However, she still got there because she was like, I met a boy or just saw a boy, and I'm like, I'm going to give up everything to be up there. So it's like, to have a chance. And I'm like, and especially when her fate hinges on that guy liking her back. It's too much. It's too much. So it's like with Moana, you got a Bop and Lin-Manuel Miranda soundtrack. You got freaking Tamatoa. You got crazy coconut pirates. You got
The Rock.
You got
The Rock. You got A Rock and you got The Rock, and
all of them.
And
all of them.
But I'm just straight up. I mean, I remember when Moana first came out, I was enamored. I loved it. So I'm straight up in the Moana park. So. I'm sorry, Ed. I'm sorry.
Eddie's gonna find a way to this call somehow and just yell at us like that one Cuphead sounding audio that's been going around of like you as a motherfucker, you know that. But yes, I'm sorry, Eddie. Moana goes through. Maybe if Ariel kept her mouth shut longer, she would have been charming enough to win. Okay, so the next one. Peter Pan.
The flying ones.
The flying ones. You could fly.
Air battle.
Peter Pan versus Dumbo. Child kidnapping versus child abuse. What delightful topics happened in the 20th century?
And thankfully, this one will be a lot more even because both of them have racism.
I was gonna say. Questionable representation number 1, questionable representation number 2.
Here at Awkward. Here at 3 Idiots, we let you know when something's racist.
Yeah,
Okay.
like one of those 3 hosts. Accidentally, constantly.
Yeah.
So many clips on Twitch.
Yeah. How you are not canceled, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I like how there was a dip in our viewers when I said, like, we let you know what's racist, and then the views just went down. They don't want to know. But yes. So, I guess this is me picking for the first one this time.
Yes, you go.
Alright, so I like Peter Pan. Peter Pan is a fun little romp. Peter's an asshole. Tinkerbell's great. I like the interactions between Peter and Wendy. The world is just really nice. There's so many people who are murderers. Like, everyone wants to just kill Wendy. Like, almost a disgusting amount.
Kill the Wendy bird.
Exactly. And Captain Hook is a great villain. I mean, he just oozes fop, and I love him. Dumbo's cute. Dumbo's sad. Like, Dumbo is like, who wants to be sad today? Of just, like, killing mothers and people being mean to a literal baby for a physical deformity, and someone
Technically, they don't kill mothers; they imprison them.
And only giving help to this character when they provide something that could give them some benefit in life. Everything it shows kids very early on that love is transactional.
Damn.
I'm on a roll today. And I mean, and also the pink elephants on parade is very good. Like, that is a cool scene. That radiates cool.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the crows. But then if you go to Peter Pan, you got the natives.
To be fair, yeah, as somebody pointed out in the chat, to be fair, the crows did help Dumbo.
That is true. And I mean, to my knowledge, they're actually played by black people.
I think maybe the lead crow, I'm not saying his name.
I mean,
the lead crow, I think, was the only one not. The rest of them were, though.
I mean, there's one question, like sincerely for once, believe it or not, one question to consider for us. I mean, there is no right or wrong answer, but how much being a product of its time should be its deal breaker for now?
Oh no, like
because we keep joking about all the racism in the good old Disney movies. By the way, where's Uncle Remus on this list? I mean, it's half animated, right?
No, there's only one animated segment between all of these,
and it's like 20 minutes of the entire runtime.
By the way, most of the song in the South is just a white child being neglected by his father. Like, the movie's very boring. But like, I'm mostly just saying the stuff to acknowledge and joke about. Mm-hmm. I'm judging the movies based off their quality as movies. Mm-hmm. I mean, Lord knows, like, fucking, there would be other things on this list that I could not talk about. Point being, I feel like for entertainment purposes, I think I would pick Peter Pan. To me, Dumbo just feels like, and you know, depending on how you feel that day, I guess, they're both also very, like, here's just vignettes of living as this person. Because Dumbo's story is just kind of all over the place. It's like, oh, they're a baby, they're getting neglected. And then, like, oh, here's just them fucking up. There's a hero's tale in there somewhere. But I think just of a story and something that, like, grips your attention more, I think I'm going to go with Peter Pan. So, Lauren, what's your choice?
Well, personally, the way I see it, I would go back and watch Peter Pan way more times than Dumbo. Dumbo is one I would be like, I need a good cry. I need to let stuff out. Because you know what? Baby mind makes me cry every time. I don't care who knows it. And then with Peter Pan, you got a variety of fun characters, all memorable. Captain Hook is a fantastic villain. Again, it's just like, when you have the make or break in a film be a villain, it's like, I feel like that's what happens. Is it's like Captain Hook is one of those extremely memorable ones. His pirate crew's really funny. Gotta love his Mr. Smee. And then actually, even right down to the frickin' crocodile is a character. So it cracks me up every time I think of them chanting codfish to him, and the crocodile's just splashing the water like to the chant. It's just funny to me because he's just like, I get to eat. But yeah, in general, I think it's just because it is a far more like a fun adventure. Peter is like you said, he's an asshole. That's kind of that's his brand. I feel like people kind of forget that he is supposed to be an asshole. He's a boy. He's just perpetually immature.
And he's not supposed to really like Wendy either.
Nope.
Have you seen him interact with Wendy? Tries to be anywhere near affectionate. He's like, ew, gross. Cooties.
He's such a child. Again, he's a child.
Boy.
And but yeah, I think it's the adventure aspect too that I like in Peter Pan. It's the escapism kind of literally. It's I think it's just, I don't know. I'll go with Peter Pan over Dumbo anytime. And sorry, Pink Elephants, I know you're a really cool sequence and you're fun, but I'm sorry, Dumbo makes me sad every time. It's just like, I can't do that to myself unless I really need a good cry. So I
don't like things unless they make me happy.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm not trying to soft cushion myself. It's just I can handle Dumbo. I just don't like the fact that it makes me more sad than anything.
I know, it's like, I can handle things. I can watch Schindler's List just casually and not even shed a tear. But play Baby Mine on audio and I'm gonna be crying like a bitch. But Max, are you gonna try to change any of our opinions, or are you on the Peter Pan train?
I'm not going to try to change any opinions. It's I have a bigger personal connection to Dumbo, once again, VHS. And while I recall seeing the Peter Pan VHS as well, we got it later. So Dumbo we actually recorded from TV or something. I don't know. I have seen it a lot more times, up and down. While Peter Pan just didn't click with me back in the day. But at the end of the day, it's like with the previous one, where I try to go beyond my own personal biases. So I will just be like, yeah, let's go with Peter Pan instead, because I remember Dumbo more vividly doesn't really make it better.
Do they call Dumbo something else in German?
Nope, Dumbo.
Okay.
German pronunciation, so.
Alright. Also, yeah, Dumbo has scary clowns. Fuck clowns. So, yeah, clowns will... Dumbo loses because of clowns. Okay,
they're not the hot Ace Attorney ones.
God damn it, I fucking hate that clown. I hate her flooding my timeline.
What is up with that one? I don't get this.
Okay, I'll explain the context to you. So
okay, thank you.
There's a fucking murderous clown girl in an Ace Attorney game, right? And then then there was a person who made a parody animation recently of Ace Attorney, and she was a little bit character. And the thing is that they had Miles, who, by the way, of all the characters in fucking Ace Attorney that would react awooga to a female, it would not be Miles Edgeworth. And
that's purposely why they did it. But
there's a reason the word "clussy" was trending on Twitter, and that I wanted to die. Also, here's the thing: they're not. Audience, they're not real. You are loving boobs of lies. She's a flat-chested queen and still a murderer, by the way.
Yep, they pop like balloons, quite literally. So
Yeah,
so
she
sorry
has
to spoil your fun.
Yeah, she stuffs her shirt with balloons. And
She wears a
you people
wig,
don't want to
so that's
accept
not real
that
pink
truth.
hair.
Not in the picture that I have been seen. There was no shirt.
I know that because people don't want to accept the truth, and they don't want to accept the superior version of her. By the way, like, where's the love? But still, yeah, people have Clussy fever apparently, and God, if it was not more proof that people need to fucking touch grass, like,
if you wanted a big booba pink haired woman, just look at April May.
or like, you know, I don't know. It's just, why? Ace Attorney has enough memes. Don't make the big fake booba clown a meme. Anyways, so Alice. Speaking of clowns, Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, the Spirited Away battle.
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland versus the Isekai battle versus
Yeah.
the 2011 Winnie the Pooh. So, Lauren, which of these little you got the almost horrific adventure with the bright neon colors versus the warm, soft Winnie the Pooh blanket?
It's funny because I'm like, I love both. I treasure both. But if I'm gonna say if something is more of actually both are actually very different. Because
Shut up,
Winnie the
Eddie!
Pooh.
Sorry. Eddie wrote, sexy clowns are weird. Anyway, let's talk about the sexy mice from Great Mouse Detective. Shut up, Eddie. That's different. That's different because it appeals to my tastes, and I'm the one in charge here. If people don't bend to my taste, they're wrong. I'm an internet influencer. I'm supposed to have these opinions. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
I was gonna say, and they're both very different. Because Alice in Wonderland is like an adventure, or at least a wander through adventure. Winnie the Pooh is kind of slice of life when you think about it. It's like things happen, but there is no beginning, middle, and end to it. It's kind of like things happen, and actually that's very much tied into Winnie the Pooh in general, like as a property when you think about it. There's a lot of just things happen, and you're there to see it happen. Alice in Wonderland is like, there's an objective to what Alice, even though it's insane, it's almost like it's a monkey paw thing of be careful what you wish for, right? She wants to be in a world where nothing makes sense, and it's all absurd. Because she thinks that'd be more fun, and then she realizes, wait, nope. I love the writing for Winnie the Pooh. I love the jokes that they have for it. I love the character interactions. But I would go with Alice in Wonderland because it's more of like when you have, even if the instances where they have different character interactions are short, they are very, not just vibrant in color, but I mean, they are vibrant in that all the characters, as insane as they are different flavors of insane. And I love it. So, it's like, I really love Alice in Wonderland and how bizarre it's willing to go. And for at the time, for what it was, that's like, I think it still stands out. It still stands out as the test of time as something that people will watch and go, man, they actually were like, they put this to film and it's still trippy. So, yeah, I'm going with Alice.
All right. Max, what about you? You love isekais so much.
So yeah, I am known for the isekai man who even is Giga. But yeah, I believe between those two, Winnie the Pooh is probably too calm for me. So I dig the craziness of Alice in Wonderland more. I mean, while Winnie the Pooh obviously is in its small cast, each of the Winnie the Pooh characters is iconic in and of themselves. However, Alice in Wonderland has so much more iconic shit going on. I mean, Okay, this statement is true for both of them. I was about to say that when people hear Alice in Wonderland, they think primarily of the Disney iteration and not even considering that there is an original it's based on. But this is double true for Winnie the Pooh, so fun fact, guys. Winnie the Pooh is not an original Disney property.
Fun fact, Winnie the Pooh's public domain now, as long as you don't put him in a red shirt. If you want to make Winnie the Pooh a serial killer, which someone is making that movie,
Yes.
you could.
Fun fact: Winnie the Pooh is actually Taoism. It's like or is it Taoism? But is it Buddhism or something?
Are you the fun fact? Tell Zhao what's the fucking person who banned Winnie the Pooh from China because people kept saying he looked like him?
Calling him Winnie the Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you make Winnie the Pooh a sexy clown? Of course you can, Eddie.
It probably has already happened. Wait, let me Google it.
No.
Okay, Winnie the Pooh sexy clown.
If not, Eddie's legally obligated to draw it now.
I found a sexy Winnie the Pooh, but it's not a clown. And I found a sexy clown, but
You're gonna have to ask Dolly to
Oh yeah,
AI
the fucking
generated.
AI program. But yeah, well, I guess Eddie, you gotta get your drawing tablet out. Just it's time to doodle. But yes. So you're leaning towards Alice in Wonderland. There's more iconic stuff happening.
Yes. Unless, of course, you have the absolute home run of an argument in favor of Winnie Pooh.
I do not, but I am choosing Winnie the Pooh. Look, here's the thing. You've gone on and on about how the other things were biases towards you because you grew up with stuff. Now, Winnie the Pooh came out in 2011. So I wasn't a child when it came out. However, I felt like a child watching it because Winnie the Pooh was like one of my this was a character I loved as a little kid, like a formative character kind of thing. Like I had a little mini chair when I was a kid, like those soft recliner chairs that for like toddlers. I had a Winnie the Pooh one, and I remember it vividly. I had like all like my pajamas when I was a little toddler had a little Winnie the Pooh or Eeyore on them and all that. Like, I love the little Winnie the Pooh world. I wanted to be Christopher Robin and go into the 100-acre woods. Like, I loved it. It made me think that honey was probably the best tasting thing in the universe. I didn't like it. I like it more now, but I mean, if I ever go to Disneyland with someone, they know that how like obsessive I am with trying to get the chocolate-covered honeycomb at Disneyland before I leave the park. It's not a problem. But and then when I saw the 2011 movie, like, it's beautiful. Like, it is one of the most well-animated things that Disney's released. The music is great. Like, it's just so nice. I do acknowledge that what Eddie said in the chat earlier, that both of the movies are about like losing childhood, and that the 2011 movie kind of diluted that message compared to like the 70s anthology film and stuff, which yes, I acknowledge. However, it's Winnie the Pooh. All these characters share one brain cell each because they're dumb little stuffed animals, and I love them. So my argument is, I love them. They are baby.
The most criminal thing it does is that the runtime is too short.
Oh yeah, it's a very short movie. But yes, I acknowledge Alice in Wonderland as its winner. But no, Winnie the Pooh. I love you. You're soft and huggable. Okay, this next one's gonna hurt me, because I love both of these movies. Jungle Book versus Fox and the Hound.
The Talking Animals battle, round 3.
Actually, my battle was the resolution at the end of the movie is the characters separating. That was my parallel between the two. So, let's, Max, you go first.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It might be a similar line of argument like I had with the previous battle. Namely that Jungle Book is the bigger one, the spectacle more is happening. Fox and the Hound is is a more condensed story. Like, well, you have the Fox and the Hound, you have a little bit of supporting cast with the elder dog, with the owl, and does the vixen even have a name, or does she even speak? I can't remember. I just remember her being not Nightmarian. She doesn't have a name, does she?
Oh, she has a name?
She's Vixie.
Yeah, her name is Vixie.
This is barely a name. This is a nickname for a vixen. Vixen.
Exactly. Hey, I said she has a name. I never said it was a creative one.
I mean, then again, Fox is Fox. No, wait. No. Oh, I'm getting confused
Also,
again,
yes, she does have a voice. She was voiced by a prolific celebrity back in the day.
Here's the thing, Fox and Hound is called Cup and Kapper in Germany, which doesn't mean anything. It just, one of them is Cup and the other one is Kapper. And therefore I'm now, and once again it's an old movie which I have never watched in the original, so the Fox is called Fox and the Hound is called Hound, right? Or do they have names beyond that?
Todd and Copper.
Todd and Copper.
Do they actually have names?
Yes.
In English.
Short for toddler.
Wait, did the German dub just call them Fox and Dog?
No! Cup and Kappa. They renamed the entire movie into Cup and Kappa, and their names in movie are Cup und Kappa.
What?
Those are... I know!
Why does Germany hate the name Todd? Like...
I have no idea.
Who hurt the dubbers that they're like, fuck Todd, your name is Cup.
But yeah. I mean, then again, there's a bear battle and everything. I mean, there are the moments with the fields when I don't even know who is which one anymore. But the dog, like, gives the fox one chance to flee because he saved his life or the human's life. But yeah, point being, I still go with Jungle Book, but probably also for one, the spectacle, and B, the stronger personal connection, which is a horrible argument, but here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, Fox and the Hound is a movie that is guaranteed to make me cry. Like, the scene where the grandma lady drops Todd off in the forest.
Widow Tweed.
I've seen this movie so many times.
Shut
up! Shut the fuck up!
Or we start singing Dumbo.
No, yeah, and you'll cry, not for the quality of our singing, but
in my case, it might go either way.
But shut up. Okay, but no, Fox and the Hound has plenty of crying moments, and also the just Todd and Copper. It's such a tragic movie. Like, it's just sad. It's just sad. But like, and I mean, it looks beautiful. I mean, Tim Burton worked on this movie, and all that. However, I grew up. Jungle Book is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Personal attachment time. I own like the Diamond Edition DVD that has all the deleted scenes and everything, and I love the songs. I mean, Bare Necessities is great. I love Shere Khan. Come on, Shere Khan is just a fantastic villain.
And he can rock a suit.
Yes, he sure does. But
and Baloo can really fly that plane.
Oh, he can.
I mean, my personal favorite character in the entire movie is Kaa, the snake. Voiced by Winnie the Pooh. Wow.
Obviously.
But I really lift him. I mean, Trust in Me is one of my favorite villain songs because it's just so like flowy and for lack of a better word, hypnotic. Hey. But every character in Jungle Book is just like, especially since it's really Jungle Book kind of equates to like a Muppet movie in that they go from place to place to place to place, and like the characters. When you think about them, a lot of the characters are only around for a little bit if they are not Bagheera, Baloo, and Mowgli. and like Shere Khan and Kaa, because the elephants are only in like one scene, the monkeys are only in like one scene. I mean, I love King Louie, by the way. I Want to Be Like You is one of the best Disney songs. And then, you know, you got the fucking Beatles vultures up there just being like, they're only there for a little bit. And it's all really nice. But Fox and the Hound is also like a better adaptation of its source material. Because with Jungle Book, Walt Disney literally said, don't open the book. Like, don't read the book before you make this movie. But Fox and the Hound has the thing that you could tell that they wanted to go darker, but they couldn't. With Jungle Book, it's so lighthearted from the get-go because they didn't look at the book and it's all like in name only, that you don't feel the fact that they wanted to go darker. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Jungle Book. But what about you, Lauren? Yeah, because I'm very on the fence because I love both of them, so maybe you could convince me.
Yeah. Like, in terms of, like, two totally different books, or book adaptations, I should say, especially, like, what, to your point, one is definitely not as true as the other one is. And I do agree with Ed's point. I feel like, yeah, they could have, like they could have gone darker, and it's like saying, oh, well, you should have killed off Chief and had him stay dead or whatever, instead of just, his but a scratch. But it was, yeah, the message is still very much, a very real one, though. It's, when you have people who were originally friends and they go separate ways and go down different paths in life, and it's almost like they can't be friends anymore. That's a very heavy theme, a very heavy topic. And they handle it actually really well. But the Jungle Book, I'm looking at these as not as adaptations of books. I am looking at them as films. Jungle Book is one I've gone back to several times over. The characters are really, really fun. I agree, and it's funny because I've had people tell me that I do the freaking milk call head swaggle sometimes. I swear to God, it's pulled because of Shere Khan doing the head swaggle. It just ends up coming through whenever I'm like proud of myself. I do the little, but it's so I'm like, so is there a little bit of that attachment to the Jungle Book? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and for all the real OGs who have been here since I was like a super hardcore Beatles person, yeah, you probably think, oh yeah, you also like those Beetle vultures in there that are like there for 2 seconds, right? Like, well, yes, but I do like that again, it's similar to Alice in Wonderland, where you could have a few characters that one character or a few characters that are central to the story and are focused on more than the others, and the others are kind of like, they come in for a vignette and then they're gone, but you enjoy when they're there. So it's like it's like they come in for a song number and then they're gone. That's pretty much what it is. But I do like that. I kind of like that they touch on a little bit of the character, and plus you're thinking about it, they're in a jungle. There's lots of animals there. It's not always likely you're going to run into those same animals again unless you happen to stick around the same area. So it's like, it feels like, okay, yeah, you're traveling through, you come across these animals and they do a little thing and you're like, cool, fun. Again, yeah, Shere Khan is one of my favorite villains in the lineup, and just he's just pristine every time he's around on camera, and just the way he carries himself. It's and I think it's almost like he succeeds where Scar fails towards the end, is that Shere Khan maintains, if not increases his intimidation and ferocity towards the end, whereas Scar whimpers out. Yeah. Because he gets what he wants and then he acts like a brat the rest of the time. So it's like, with Shere Khan, he's like, you build up to him being intimidating, because otherwise you show him being an intimidating character, but it builds an intensity up until the very end when you see him in full force. So I think that's where you handle a character like him, especially when it's almost like building up to the reveal of Jaws in that way, where you finally get that impact at the very end, and it's worth it. So,
You know, Lauren, you've convinced me. Fox and the Hound moves on around.
But
unanimous,
my
wasn't
vote
it?
goes to Jungle Book. It's my
Yeah,
long-winded answer, but
it was unanimous.
yeah.
For how long we talked about it.
I like.
We all have a special attachment to it.
I like what Eddie wrote saying. Someone at the Making of Fox and the Hound said had Disney say they couldn't kill the old dog because Disney doesn't kill off main characters and they're not starting now. All I could think about is Princess and the Frog, because they killed off Ray, and I would argue Ray's a good character. He's on the box.
They squished him. They squished him.
You could hear a crack.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's gonna hurt me. These are one of
You are in a lot of pain today, Jesus.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm always in pain. But Tarzan versus Aladdin. Oh God, both of these I love. Ooh.
Bofa, you say?
Bofa. but like, God. And now it's my turn to go first. Okay. Ooh. Ow. Owie, owie.
Like a ding dong.
Now, Tarzan is like a spectacle movie. Like, being a product of the 2000s, so they had like more advanced things than they had when they had Aladdin, because like Tarzan just going through the vines and all that stuff. The character of Tarzan is probably one of the most endearing interpretations of him. It's just a really fun movie, and also becomes like really fucking dark given that they just hang a villain on screen. Which is like, didn't expect that. However, it does have Rosie O'Donnell, gorilla, and I'm not a huge fan of her. Like, I don't like her character. She's just too much. I like Tantor. I don't like her.
Are you sure this water's sanitary? It looks questionable to me.
He was great.
He was great. But... And also, I like the Phil Collins music in it. Everyone just stop sucking the boot of Nostalgia Critic when it comes to hating Phil Collins music. Y'all are sheeple.
I wanna know. Can you tell me?
I wanna
know about the strangers like me.
Also, Tarzan gave us the opportunity that we got to see Phil Collins get an Oscar shoved up his ass from South Park.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, Aladdin was like one of my, like, I wore the tape out with Aladdin. I would pause Aladdin and draw frame. I paused Aladdin, like, during the scene where Genie keeps snapping his fingers and transforming Abu into things, just so I could draw the different forms of Abu during that montage. And I mean, Jafar. Oh yeah. Jafar is like,
this is all your fault, Jafar.
It's such a great film. Here's the thing. I think Aladdin just has more
Tiger fucker. The poor members in the audience who have no idea what we are going on about.
There are two Twisted fans in the audience, and they'll get it. But I think, like, there's just more iconic characters in Aladdin, in just, like, each character just brings so much. With Tarzan, you could whittle the characters down to Tarzan, Jane, and Tarzan's father. And, you know, the fucking cheetah who killed everyone and didn't actually talk. So there's a question.
Excuse me, leopard.
Cat! It was a cat!
Cheetahs don't climb trees!
Oh, my fucking cat.
One wild pussy.
Also, the villain in Tarzan, besides a very good death scene, is kind of mid. Like, he's Gaston without any of the charm.
And he's just, humanity is bad and I will make money off monkey.
Yes. Meanwhile, Jafar is just like this slimy little worm. And Aladdin is a great Disney prince. And Jasmine's a great princess. And Genie is Genie. The Genie's in a whole other realm of his own. Iago's in a whole other... There's just so much of Aladdin that's like... I mean, I think of the original, like, Renaissance movies where it was Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King. I think I like Aladdin the most out of all of those. Come fight me, Lion King fans. At least Jafar stays evil the whole time.
Yeah, and he goes completely unhinged. I mean, completely unhinged. And it's fun.
Exactly. We almost saw a mafia-like drowning in Aladdin. Do you see that in Lion King? No. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Aladdin. There's just so much about Aladdin that just makes it an event of a movie. Plus, I really like the TV show. Because the Tarzan TV show is just...
You had a Hercules Aladdin crossover.
I
had
know.
two of the best villains together. You had Jafar and Jafar and Hades working together to stop Hercules and Aladdin.
I mean, yeah, and I mean, Hades and Jafar spent most of that episode just bitching like old women to each other, and it's great. But I love the Aladdin animated series. It's so good. There is a scene from that show where, because Abu gets kidnapped by thieves, and Aladdin just goes John Wick kind of thing on people, and he's just like, "Hey, I want my monkey." And that kills me to this day. Just how serious he says it. He believed in that monkey. But that's why I'm gonna pick Aladdin. Monkey. Max.
Yes.
Aladdin and Tarzan.
Yeah. I mean, as we established, good soundtrack in both of them. What is the running theme here? Underdog boy protagonist?
Orphan boy finds person.
So yeah, kind of similar.
I also called this one the exposed nipple hour because Aladdin and Tarzan are basically shirtless.
Nipples.
But you never see Aladdin's. He always has a vest on.
I know,
but you can imagine
shirtless.
that it's lips.
You can imagine. It's Tarzan's nipples versus Aladdin's belly button. Is that how you want me to word this?
Ooh, there we go.
Is
this
that
belly
how
button.
There are some people who are into belly buttons, so don't. So like, let's not attract those 5 people. But yes,
5 is 5 too many.
Either way, yeah, between those, I actually like them both, so I guess what was it? Oh, this pains me so much, or whatever.
It pains me because I love Tarzan and Aladdin.
Yeah, I have a great fun with it, with Tarzan as well, but yeah, here I have to give it once again to the older one. Jesus, my age is showing today. I have been picking the older, where there was a clearly newer one versus a clearly older one. I always picked the older one, didn't I?
Well, I mean, at least Tarzan and Aladdin are only separated by a few years.
Really?
Well, I mean, like, Tarzan was, I think, 2000...
No. Aladdin was Aladdin was 92.
And Tarzan
was 99.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because Tarzan was the movie before Emperor's New Groove came out, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, long rambling short. I'm going with Aladdin. After all, it felt like overall a bit more rounded.
I mean, I feel like Jafar and you radiate a lot of energy with each other.
By being secretly good guys and getting blamed for everything while you're just trying our best.
The twisted interpretation of Jafar is not canon.
Oh, you mean the... Oh, you mean the little wimpy guy who then climbs on the throne and has Jasmine arrested and stuff.
Yes. I mean, I was also gonna say because you deal with a loudmouthed American most of the time. Because someone needs to draw like the whole fucking Jafar, get a grip with me and Max. That would be good. Lauren. But yeah, okay, so we got 2 for Aladdin. Lauren, do you want to make your case, or we got another unanimous?
I'm gonna say another unanimous. I'm sorry, Aladdin will always beat out Tarzan every time. It's got way more wins going for it. Like, for all the points stated before, it's like, and plus, I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna take this moment and shout out, because, I mean, Genie gets credit, but we're not even talking about Gilbert Gottfried as Iago. Like, stellar performance. You know, it's like, you know, and we've lost both Robin Williams and Gilbert Gottfried. So, you know what, shout out to them both, because they both gave landmark performances that really actually, like, when you think about it, it's like Aladdin shaped so many movies and film formulas and everything after that it was just kind of like, it is a defining film.
You are saying it. Aladdin walked so that Tarzan can run.
No, he can swing.
He can vine.
He can vine surf. Tarzan. I mean, in terms of like figuring out how to draw people, Tarzan actually helped me figure out a lot of that. Like when I was taking anatomy drawing classes and going like, how was that? How do you stylize a person?
Yeah,
I mean, that was heavily influential for me.
At Tarzan's body for a long time. We get it. But
look, to be fair, the animators had to do the same. They had to watch skateboarders and surfers and snowboarders in order to have to figure out how to vine surf.
Job
but you know,
for them.
Oh no! but
Wait,
Aladdin,
Max,
has the great music.
And stomping.
What?
Did someone? Denim said none of your clapping and stomping was audible.
Oh, yeah, I was like, nah. It ran so that the other one can walk. No, the other way around, shit.
Were you clapping for emphasis?
I was clapping before I then actually talked while Owen was at it. But apparently, my microphone, once again, is like, I'm so good at filtering out background noises. I also hide half of the noises you make intentionally. Fuck you, microphone.
Yeah, but it will pick up when one of your ferrets are snoring. That's its priorities.
Important
Priorities here.
But yeah, so great music, likable character, not just likable, lovable characters. Great princess, because Jasmine is headstrong and determined, and I love her. And Genie, of course. I mean, he for so many, when you would go to the Hyperion version of the show, rest in peace show, everybody would literally just go just for Genie because he would change up his jokes every single show. But he would still retain the heart of the story, which was the most important part. And a great soundtrack that I still sing along to. And actually, when you think about all the live action adaptations and stuff, the Aladdin one was actually alright.
I was going to say that the live action Aladdin's actually good. So
yeah.
Modern,
I can't even be mad at him. Like, you know what? Oh.
The only thing is, like, man, they nerfed Iago, and I really didn't like Jasmine's new song. But yes,
she won't go speechless, and then is speechless 2 seconds later.
So the what is the next bracket? A boy protagonist does barely do shit while super-powered companion is actually running the show?
Pretty much, yes. So, we got Sword in the Stone versus Big Hero 6.
This one's an easy one.
Yeah, Lauren, why don't you start us out here?
Sword in the Stone, bam!
Okay, convincing argument.
Look, first of all, I remember I watched Big Hero 6, and I just could not get into it. Baymax is cute and all. I could not get attached to anybody. Tadashi was probably the only one that got close, and he dies. Spoiler alert. Yeah, sorry, but
one character is named Wasabi. That's funny.
Yeah,
and then you got another one who's Honey Lemon, but you know what? It still doesn't make them. I'm sorry. And the villain was not a good villain. They tried to do the whole twist villain thing, and I'm just like, he was not well handled at all. Baymax was the best part of the entire film, and I feel bad because I know effort went into it, but I mean, the story failed on so many accounts, and the characters were not given the proper development that they should have gotten. And it was just like, it had potential. And I know that they had the series later on, but the fact that the movie is what pretty much launched it in terms of the animated stuff, it was not a strong contender for that. And meanwhile, Sword in the Stone, for me, I especially, putting aside my nostalgia glasses for it, it is a fun film. I know it had a lot of its problems in production, and especially when they kept changing voice actors because the voice actors for Arthur kept growing up and going through puberty, so they had to keep recording different voices to keep them young. And that's why you hear the tonal the voice cracking parts a little bit in there, but and then all of a sudden he sounds like 11 2 seconds later. The first of all, Madame Mim is a great villain. She's she may not be the strongest one, but she is fun for her runtime. And the dynamic where it's the bickering old people dynamic between Merlin and Madame Mim is really funny. The wizard duel is super fun, and highly memorable. I love all those stories where it's again, Merlin basically is just let's turn into a different animal, I'll teach you something. I don't know. I just it's I don't know. It's just fun, and I think there's a lot of great animation in it too. I know that was kind of sort of during that Xerox era where you kind of had that similar look to Pocahontas, or not. Why am I reading Pocahontas? Similar look to 101 Dalmatians. I'm reading Pocahontas down below the chart. But when you had that kind of that textured, sketchy look to it, it works really well for Sword in the Stone. It adds that grungy kind of quality to it to make it more fitting of the medieval kind of grungy look. And and Merlin is a great character. You know what? He's a fun character that doesn't get enough credit. Archimedes is a great little sidekick who's just sassy all the time.
I love the owl. That's my spirit animal.
Archimedes is a great sassy little character, and I love him. So immediately, Sword in the Stone, so much more going for it.
What about you, Max? Because I have a rant about Big Hero 6, so I'm gonna.
Oh my. First thing first regarding Ed being all the sad squirrel. So, I have seen, I need to dig it somewhere in my Tumblr history, but I have seen that there seems to be an entire subgenre of spinning the story of where the squirrel girl later gets turned human and basically still sticks with Arthur and learns everything. It is fish out of water, quirky character, and they stay together, and so happy end. Hunt it down, check it out. There's an absolute beautiful sub fandom somewhere which is dedicated to the AU in which Squirrel Girl gets transformed into a human at the end, and they live happily ever after, kind of, while she discovers being a human. It's I love it. It's gorgeous.
Was in the movie for all of 3 minutes. What? But
it shows her impact. It shows the impact.
I suppose.
And yet a number of furry awakenings that this little Squirrel Girl caused.
Did Wait, no, it was not yours. Come on. It was...
No, it was not my awakening, but God, do I look fondly back to her.
Yes, this random non-verbal squirrel.
And her sadness, it's true. I felt it. But yeah, to answer the question. So I really, once again, the thing of recent shit. So Big Hero 6 came out, when it came out, I checked it out, and I was actually positively surprised, because first it flew completely under my radar. And then it popped up on my radar somehow. I don't know, was it on a streaming site? Probably was on the streaming site for a while or something. I hope. No, I actually had a good time with it. I mean, Baymax, as we all agree, pretty great character, and I mean, as much as Automaton can be a character, but lovable, huggable, very huggable.
Marketable.
And also that. And yeah, I had a good time. I had the touchy feelings, but Sword in the Stone clearly wins.
Yes. Okay, so Big Hero 6 is actually based off a Marvel property, and it just does the Jungle Book with it. nothing about it, like, is like the book. And that already annoyed me. Also, the opening, like, 10 minutes to Big Hero 6 is, like, one of the worst examples of an exposition dump that I've ever seen in a movie. Like, oh my god, that opening scene tested my patience. I love Baymax, he's a good boy, but, like, every character just felt like they were coated in Crisco, in that I could not stick to any of them. I attached to none. I felt nothing. It was clean and sanitized, like probably how Baymax would want it, but I just felt nothing. Like, the movie is less than bad. It's just nothing. It's not there. There's a reason why the newest Big Hero 6 thing only really evolves around Baymax and the hot ant. So, like... so, like, there you go. Sword in the Stone, for all of its flaws, is at least fun. And I like fun. And to me, it has, like, the Sleeping Beauty syndrome, where all the side characters are more interesting than our protagonist. Notice how none of us said anything about Arthur this entire time. There was more to be said about the squirrel than there was about Arthur himself. So...
appropriately so.
Spot, the Stan Lee post-credit scene will not sway me to vote for Big Hero 6. So, Sword in the Stone, I think you deserve more than Big Hero 6. But watch Baymax.
Big Hero 6 was just a big nothing burger that had one cute character in it, and that was about it.
With that said, watch Baymax on Disney+. It's really adorable.
Yes, that is actually very cute. So
make conservatives cry. Watch Baymax on Disney+. Alright. So in this category, which I am just going to call mediocrity, we have...
How the hell did we make it through the entire right column already? In 1.5 hours. We made it. The preliminaries had less movies in them, didn't they?
I don't remember. I think so, yes. I don't know, maybe we're just efficient today, man. We're learning. But okay. Raya versus Pocahontas. Putting the problematic stuff of Pocahontas aside, like, I just feel nothing with either of these movies. I think Raya at least has more going for it. Like, I think, like, I like the world Raya made, as little as we actually see of it, because they felt like we had to keep moving right along every scene. I like Sisu. I think, like... I think in theory the villain is a good idea. I like the character designs. So, by just a small margin, I think Raya just has more going on that can be, in theory, interesting. Pocahontas just... I rewatched Pocahontas recently, and so much of it just... Like, it's a very pretty movie. It's very lovely looking. But god, so much of it wants to feel deeper than it actually is, and it's annoying. Like, we're making a statement here. You sure are, buddy. Yeah? Yep, I mean, like, I know everyone loves savages, but the lyrics are so on the point that it's not even like, oh man, they're not holding back punches and more. That you couldn't come up with anything more clever? I mean, the lyric, they're not like you and me, which means they must be evil. Like, come on now. Also, the entire motivation that the villain thinks that there's gold in Virginia because the conquistadors found fucking gold in South America. So fucking stupid.
I mean, to be fair, they all were pretty stupid in that era.
I know.
There was no internet. They couldn't verify or anything.
I know,
it was like,
but like,
they had to take fucking hearsay. So.
And then like, oh, we did find gold, and then it's just corn. It's like, for fuck's sake. And yeah, I mean, I know with some of these we could joke around and stuff about, like, stuff, but Pocahontas is also just the thing of, like, I cannot ignore the fact that it's like, man, what the fact that, because Pocahontas was a real person, and so was John Smith, and this is just kind of gross. I feel kind of gross as a grown-up knowing what actually happened to Pocahontas and how, like, they're making a fairy tale out of a real person. Which, by the way, kind of the same towards Anastasia. I know there's, like, a mythic around that, but come on now. Is there not enough fantasy that you gotta take from an actual Native American? Yeah, come on. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Raya just because at least there's something more going on with Raya. I didn't feel like I'm being lectured at during Raya. What about you, Lauren?
See, Raya had promise. We could, if it had been better paced, if they had just focused their story a lot more, because again, they try to shove what a lot of people had actually said was, one, this should have been a series versus a movie.
Agreed.
Because you get to see all these different regions and you spend all of the fucking 2 minutes in each of them.
Like Eternals.
It's like,
it should
yeah,
be a
and
series.
another thing is that Raya's also got, I mean, both of these are problematic in their own ways. We all know that. Like, Raya was all, like, kind of, like, lumping all these Southeast Asian cultures together, and I'm like, hey, you can't do that. They are all very different, so you can't do that. You can't do that. And say it's a representation when you can't do that. It was just, and for me, I enjoyed it when I watched it. But then I realized it didn't stick around for me as much. It, like, the impact, it didn't leave much of to me. And I feel like it came in again with another heavy message, like a heavy-handed message where it feels like both of them are trying to drill something into you. And being like, see, this is our message, don't trust people, or until you gotta trust people. And then it's like, oh, nope, everybody's gotta get along and stuff, like can't be coming into indigenous people's lands, and anyway, so it's like you both got very heavy-handed messages in these films. Both have their problems, plenty of them. Both are pretty films, you can agree with that, but it also, as problematic as Pocahontas is, I at least remember more of what happens in Pocahontas than I do what happens in Raya.
Wait, so you're gonna go with Pocahontas?
Oh! Suddenly this is a problem.
No, just surprised. Just surprised.
I'm like, again, in terms of something,
we haven't had a split decision in a while. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
You know what? That's fair. You're right.
Right.
I'm gonna be like, oh, now we got a problem. But it's,
oh snap, you didn't.
But no, I'm like, and I think with Pocahontas, despite all of those problems, despite the controversy, despite all of that, I still, again, remember a lot more what happens in Pocahontas and had more of it stick with me than what happened with Raya. And again, that happens, a huge thing is pacing and how you have so many characters to focus on in Raya and are introduced to that you'd never get enough time with each of them to really develop them. And so you don't, it's kind of like Big Hero 6 in the way of where it's like, and it certainly wasn't anywhere near as bad as Big Hero 6 in how they handled it, but it's similar in the way that you don't have enough time to get attached to the characters. Mm-hmm. There's too much going on that, again, if it were a series where you could actually flesh out these characters and get everybody attached to them in the right amount of time and getting to know them and appreciating them, then it's different. But when you have a movie, a runtime of 90 minutes, if not a little less, to try and get attached to these characters, and you just can't because there's too much going on, you're trying to focus on too much at once, then something's lost. A lot of things are lost. And Pocahontas has a lot of things going on too, but it does feel more focused because we do at least have a narrative where, like, as incorrect as it may be, historically speaking, it's still like, okay, but I get what is going on. it's not trying to complicate itself to an overbearing point. You at least can follow it narratively. And it's not neither of them are perfect, but I'm just saying in terms of the ones that is either a more easily followable narrative, it's got to be Pocahontas.
You've made your point big and clear, Lauren. All right, Max, you get to break the tie.
Oh my, so much responsibility. So whatever I say will count heavier than anything either of you said before. I'm loving this. That's how this works, right?
Totally.
Anyways, yeah. Here's the thing. For once I break with... I guess spoilers. I break with my streak today of going with the older one. Because maybe it's unfair to Pocahontas because it was such a weak movie in an era of otherwise exclusively strong movies. Can we say exclusively strong?
A lot of oops all bangers. I mean, like, Pocahontas came out right after Lion King.
Oh, yeah. And what was the next one after?
Bye, Eddie.
Bye, Eddie.
Bye, Eddie?
But yeah,
that's
Eddie's leaving.
Oh, bye, Eddie! But yeah,
right after Pocahontas, I think was... Pocahontas would have been 95, so whatever was 96's release, I think that may have been Hunchback.
Yeah, you see, squeezed between those two, no wonder that Pocahontas felt weaker than it potentially was with this competition around it. While in recent history there are, as we saw with Big Hero 6, there are more of those milquetoast safe productions. Mm-hmm. And yet even that they fuck up because Disney being Disney and over all the catering to the Asian market, they just suck. But yeah, no, but Raya. Yeah, other thing with dragons in it. Raya. I don't know. It stuck more with me. Once again, might be recent time bias. Might be that it just compares better to its surrounding properties. But yeah, I mean, I remember that after watching Raya, I was actually like ready to watch it again shortly after. Mm-hmm. I mean, not because it was that much of a whoa movie, but it was like, hey, that was a fun movie. I guess when I need something to watch for dinner, hey, how about that? And it looks pretty. I know, great argument.
There's a big armadillo in it, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but I dare to say, that there's more, despite all the bankruptcy and all the mashing of ideas and cultures and appropriation. I dare to say that Raya still had more creativity going on in it. Pocahontas was like very formulaic in the Disney standard. You had the fun animal sidekicks. They stole a story, a pre-existing story, and just Disneyfied it. Raya, they at least stole a bunch of stories, mashed them together, and Disneyfied them. So yeah, quantity over quality. Raya wins.
Totally. And with that, we actually got through the first round on the right side.
Oh boy.
There we go. Wow. That we were weirdly efficient with that. So
I think it helped because they were because I remember they were kind of mishmashed originally in the preliminaries. So that's why I think it took a lot longer to go through those.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we feel like things are more narrowed down, it's like you can align things better.
Yeah, so I say let's do the first round on the left side and we can call it a show. How about that, guys?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Good to me.
Alright, does anyone need to use the bathroom before we start?
You know what?
Why?
Good call.
Since
I
you
should.
mention it, yes.
Oh my god. Okay, go.
Yeah,
go.
why are you exasperated? What are you after?
Because I knew! It's great when I know. Okay, so, well, I guess I'm alone now, because people went to go to the bathroom. So, hi guys, how you doing? You guys having a good... Are you guys enjoying the show? I'm enjoying the show. So, if you want to help support this show, there's a Streamlabs link down below. You can tip even just a little $1 and that would help me and support me with giving myself more free time to work on stuff like this show and pay editors so we can have edited down versions of this and all this kind of good stuff. So, you know, donate. I mean, we had Singing Guy do it. Follow their example. Thank you, Odie. Man, they're giving me the silent treatment. They're looking at each other like, man, we're stuck here with them. It warms my heart. I think that's just heartburn, Cartoon Cat Girl. Man, I'm looking at the matchups we got. The Princess and the Frog Encanto one's gonna hurt me so much. Mi Encanto. Mi Encanto. Picademos, why are you going crickets? What happened? I mean, Pinocchio will be coming up soon, so... I'm tired. I have done 2 all-nighters in a row, and I really want to sleep. So are you gonna talk
And I'm
about
back,
Bruno?
and I beat NY back.
Oh, well, that's not really an achievement. He's a slow peer.
But it's so funny, yeah.
I was saying that beating you in a piss race is not really a competition.
What? Also, it reminds me, I also need to refill my water. Back in a sec.
Oh my fucking
I
child.
still win.
Yeah, now you just double win. Just, god damn it.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking about how after this, I'm gonna have a potato ball from Portos.
What did I miss?
Nothing. We were Lauren was talking about her lunch apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I'm looking forward to having potato balls.
Potato balls.
Is
Yeah,
this a euphemism for something?
No!
I mean, Irish people are famous for their potatoes, and I mean, I'm not judging. I have heard that Americans are very perceptive to accents and stuff.
It's noon and it's still too early for this.
It's not noon yet where we are.
Almost noon. It's it's 15 minutes away from noon.
It's not noon yet.
It's still too early for this.
So, welcome to the left side, where it's cooler, because it's left. Our first competition on this side is, I guess,
What a clash. Jesus.
What a class. Fantasia 2000, the sequel to one of the quintessential Golden Age Disney movies, to the Golden Age Disney movie, Pinocchio. Oh boy.
How on what measurement do we even compare those two? Animation? Story? Music? I don't know.
Well, okay. Entertainment value, I guess, is also like a quintessential one. But I'm gonna go with Fantasia 2000 to the shock of no one. Pinocchio's a little shit of a
Spot has a good point.
What's
It's
Spot?
the giant whale bracket.
The
They both
giant
have
whale
whales.
bracket. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's the whale
Thank
bracket.
you, Spot. Thank you.
But yes, Fantasia 2000, I really love it. I think it's just more entertaining. It's visually stunning. And, like, Pinocchio has a lot of, like, creepy scenes in it. Like, I appreciate Pinocchio more now as an adult than I did as a kid because you get to, you're more perceptive of all the dark shit. Like, the entirety of Pleasure Island's a terrifying concept.
Oh, yeah.
But I think just if I had these two movies on DVD in front of me, it's like, you get to pick one to watch tonight. I think I'm gonna go with Fantasia 2000. Pretty simple. So that's my choice. Lauren, you want to give us a lecture?
No, I'm in the same ballpark. Fantasia 2000. First of all, it's the I know I like you. It's like it's appreciating Pinocchio for all of the dark aspects, but is it something I'm like, this is my favorite? No, not exactly. I appreciate what it sets out to do, but at the same time, Fantasia 2000 was taking what its predecessor did, and like again, it's like the first Fantasia walked so that this one could run, not just run, soar to the skies.
Yeah, she said to sing.
You said the line.
You said to
to
sing.
walk so they can run.
Yeah, and then I said, if not that, it's soar to the sky like space whales. We get
Yeah.
space whales, and and also the every suite is so either it's like a range of fun and dramatic and just gorgeously animated, and it's so enjoyable. I've gone back to Fantasia 2000. Like, it's actually been a rewatch for me because of how beautifully done it is. It really is a worthy successor to its predecessor.
Well, there you go. Max, do you have any deferring opinions?
I do have differing opinions.
Mr. Old Man.
Mr. Very Old Man, who actually voted for traditional Fantasia over Fantasia 2000 last time, if I remember correctly.
That you did.
Yes,
You did.
yes.
So
and,
let me guess, did you have Pinocchio on VHS as a kid?
Potentially. At some point it fizzled out a little bit, but nevertheless, why I still would take Pinocchio over Fantasia. This is a very Max answer.
Okay, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, very traditional Max. You see, one of them is a very artsy thingamajig, while the other one has a story.
I can't watch animation set to music. That's boring. At least this one has funny puppet kid getting eaten by whale. That's peak cinema.
See, this woman gets me. Yeah, but it really boils mostly down to it. While I don't want to, but on an animation level, obviously, Fantasia 2000 is leagues above Pinocchio because there were decades in between, if I'm not mistaken. Or easily. Pinocchio is one of the older ones, isn't it? And I assume Fantasia the 2000 probably narrows it down time-wise roundabout.
Pinocchio was released during World War II, I think.
Yeah.
We didn't have too much American television during that time, so I didn't remember.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. Also, knowing where you grew up, you were on the most western part of Germany. You could have gotten American television if you tried, compared to other parts.
Potentially. But yeah, despite the fact that my dad wasn't even alive.
Your dad was not even a zygote yet. Your dad was a glint in your grandfather's eye.
So, yeah. Anyways, where were we? So, yeah, I picked Pinocchio. It's probably my plebeian, Philistine opinion or choice because, like, I can more relate to a movie that has a plot than an art piece. Are you trying to tell me something with this premature movement of Fantasia before you even made your case?
No, I made my case. I was the first one.
Oh, you were the first one.
You idiot. This is why we're not even listening. Look, you said your opinion. It's valid. However, Fantasia has space whales. And
I am just glad that Fantasia 2000 will probably not make it past the next round.
I feel like you're neglecting space whales, Max, and that disappoints me.
And now we are in the
boy.
In the cursed people of color column or bracket.
First of all, I hate how fitting that description is, because that was not my intention. But it works. This one's gonna be hard. I am volunteering to go last with this one.
Oh my.
Max, why don't you make the decision? I feel like of the three of us, you are the least attached to these two movies, so this will be an easier decision for you.
It is an easier decision for me, indeed, actually. I mean, we talked about both those movies last time, right? Is everything on the left column from the preliminaries or only partially?
Partially. Encanto was not Princess and the Frog was part of a preliminary, and Encanto was on the list.
Yeah, okay. Funny enough, even though I was the one helping you putting the preliminaries together, I do not remember what Princess of the Frog went up against, but I kind of have the feeling...
It was the not really a princess category.
This was a three-way battle, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty, and Mulan, and Princess and the Frog.
Oh yeah, I probably voted Mulan over Princess of the Frog. Yeah, and as you can tell... another movie that made it out of the preliminaries, despite not being my candidate, versus a really good movie, which I saw recently, which feeds into the fucking bias, and I hate that I have it, but what can I say? At the end of the day, I'm human. But no, Encanto,
that's a lie.
For me, a very clear winner. Prince of the Frog, I know that everybody loved it, and it was like, oh yeah, traditional animation got a one last hooray, and then it looks pretty, and it does not do anything wrong, and it has great songs and everything. But for some reason, I was like, I mean, my main takeaway is still that I'm hung up on the alligators that wants to be a jazz musician and being weirded out by.
No, we do not poo-poo on Louis in this call.
Why would you shit on Lewis? He's just following his dreams.
I know, and that's great, but the fact that I am that this is my main thing that I still recall from it, that I'm still carrying after seeing it. It's kind of like a red flag for me myself that this movie simply didn't leave a big impression with me. Encanto, however, did, and therefore I vote Encanto. Because among the cursed people, that one is the more fun curse. Like, what if superpowers, but pressure and...
what if generational trauma? Like...
Emotional
Also that.
Emotional damage.
But, I mean... How dare you shit on Tiana like that, saying she's not memorable. She's one of the best Disney princesses. Love Tiana. She works hard.
Yeah, she does work hard.
Yeah, she
wants to make restaurant.
Yeah, she's great. I love her. And Ray is great, and Ray's death was sad. But yes, Lauren.
Oh boy.
Are you gonna make my life easier or harder?
Out of principle, Lauren, go Princess and the Frog.
Lauren, your silence is scaring me.
See, the thing is... they're both... That's why I'm like, this one hurts me too, because I adore both of them. But I have to say that in terms of, there is a special place, and I mean, Chrissy, you're also in the same ballpark as I am, but with Princess and the Frog having a special place in our hearts. Mm-hmm. I think especially
stop smooshing over there. Gross.
So, I moved my character really close to yours.
Especially since
Lauren.
my character
I wasn't looking for a second, so I did not say. So I'm like, wait, what? But anyway, I still stand by Tiana being like an incredibly relatable figurehead in the princess lineup. Because and I think it comes from somebody who's just like it's somebody believing in the value of hard work and being able to like you work towards your dreams, you work towards things.
Go away.
And with Encanto, it had important messages that needed to be said, and I'm glad Encanto did it, and it did it in the way that they did. And that that it leaves it open to seeing what else can be done with the exploring the family and exploring their stories and what else that they can do as a family. But with Princess and the Frog, I feel like it comes from a very they both come from very real places, very grounded, familial places. And but I think with Tiana, I think it's something that with her story and how much she's had to climb uphill to make things happen is something that it's very real in a story that involves some fantastical elements, but it's still and actually Tiana's based on kind of pretty much she's based on a real person that actually did exist, and somebody iconic within like the, I guess you could say, within like a New Orleans cuisine. Like she was like she's like an important restaurateur. And but with I'm gonna rip off the Band-Aid. Princess and the Frog. I have to make a choice because
my life just got 10 times harder.
Yes, I'm loving it. Also, no, you don't get to vote for get one vote to give for each movie just because you're twice on screen. Just saying it. You still have to make a decision. We cannot move forward with a stalemate.
I did this so that way I could have two sources of me staring at you guys, making eye contact for a moment, because you guys just made my life harder. So let me just stop talking.
I was about to say you're basically staring at the fluff of my hair, but
I mean, when you're looking, when your character's neutral, it does look like staring.
Oh yeah, Jesus, that's eye contact.
Prolonged eye
contact.
But okay.
No more putting it up. What is it? Which movie are you going to clear the objectively superior, and which one are you declaring absolute trash that nobody should ever watch again?
Okay, well, I want to explain to you guys that I'm so fucking bad. God, I thought this would be unanimous somehow, so I didn't have to truly pick. Okay.
I'm so proud of you, Lauren.
Don't applaud me, this was hard!
Princess and the Frog was like a very important movie with me growing up, because like that was like my Aladdin, like to the 90s kids who could have saw Aladdin in theaters when they were like, like a teen and stuff, or tween, whatever. Like that was mine with Princess and the Frog, because that was the big return of like the 2D animation look. I love Facilier, the villain in Princess and the Frog. I love Facilier. And also, I don't fucking understand what people find so confusing about Facilier's motivation. You're dumb. You're all dumb. I love Naveen. I think Naveen and Tiana has one of the best chemistries of Disney characters, like Disney couples. Ray is one of the best side characters of all time. Fuck Olaf. Ray is the best sidekick ever. And he's dead now, so if you don't like him, you're insulting a dead man. So there's that gaslighting for you.
I'm okay with that. But Olaf is objectively worse.
Thank you. But, the music is so good. The music's so beautiful. I mean, I love New Orleans, like, ragtime, 1920s music and aesthetic. Almost There is a fantastic song. Friends on the Other Side is amazing. My Belle Evangeline is one of the loveliest love songs, a great wording, I know, that Disney's ever made. just everything's so good. But so
Now,
is
is this-
Encanto.
I was about to say, is this one long build up to a butt?
Yes.
Or is this your justification for picking Princess?
No. Encanto also has, like, every character is iconic. I love, like, especially since with some of these characters, they don't get as much spotlight because, well, that's just the nature of having an ensemble cast. But every, like, family member just makes such an impression in such a short amount of time. I mean, have you seen the fan base Camillo has? Camillo does barely anything in the movie, and everyone loves this little shape-shifting boy. And I mean,
there's a lot of questionable people on the internet about it too. So yeah,
and I mean, people.
I'm like,
love
he is a
Dolores.
child. Keep away from our son.
people love Dolores, and Dolores didn't do much in the movie either. Besides,
Oh my god, I didn't even realize she was holding corn.
What? Get the corn
It's
out
a
of
meme.
here.
It's because when people had nothing else left to say about Encanto, and they're like, hyper fixating on like little details, and they're like, I didn't even realize she was holding a plate of corn in this scene.
God damn it, people are weird. But like, and the music is fantastic in Encanto. I mean, we don't talk about Bruno as one of the best songs Disney's released in a long time, and so is Surface Pressure. They succeeded in like the bratty older sister with Isabella, because God, I hated her at the beginning, but they redeemed her so fast, which you'd think wouldn't be good, but they did it so well. Like, God. And also the Mariposa song, the song that's sung during the sequence where we find out why Abuela is the way she is, just fucking kills me. They're both so good! I think Encanto wins because it's able to tackle the plot line of the true villain is not like a person, it's like
it's inside the house.
It's such a bigger abstract concept as intergenerational trauma, and like, it's not pinpointed to just Abuela. It's like all these things that have happened for such a long time, and that's a very hard thing. That's a very easy tightrope to fall off of, and they handle it really well. So I think for just handling a lot more touchy subjects well, Encanto squeaks by, but I do love Princess and the Frog. I know.
No, I'm like, it's funny because it's twice now that I've voted. I'm the singular vote on something. Going, oh well, okay.
Fuck me, right?
Yeah, fuck me, right?
Well, here we go.
Well.
Sleeping Beauty versus Bambi. I know the Sleeping Mother movies. I mean, like, they're both characters. They're both characters.
This is the very impressive horns bracket.
Exactly. There you go.
The antlers and then Maleficent.
Exactly. That makes sense. There you go. We'll stick to that. I'll go first here because I had to deal with this much things. I'm gonna go with Bambi.
Oh wow, that came fast.
Well, because the thing is, I remember, I didn't really vote on Sleeping Beauty outside of the aesthetic and the side characters when we did the preliminary. Mm-hmm. I think Bambi is just a really good, like, slice of life movie of seeing this character grow up. I mean, the animal animation is stunning, like the lake scene and everything. And I just think it's like, I don't know, there's just something about it. I think it's just a really good growing up movie. It's not a coming of age movie. I mean, it is, but I also just think, like, there's something very naturalistic about it. I mean, it's in nature, so it should. But, like, they handle it really well, that seeing Bambi go from a little baby to the king of the forest, it just was paced well. It's very hard to do a film with time jumps like that and it not feel disjointed, but I think they did a good job. Also, I mean, the movie also has one of the funniest things Disney ever did with killing the mother and then tweet twilly, tweet twilly. That will never not be funny. And I mean, that does have some kind of statement of even in death, when it comes to nature, life just keeps going. It doesn't stop.
Ooh, that's deep.
I know, right? Also, in the sequel, Patrick Stewart plays Bambi's dad, so that gives it a little personal point.
Wait, but the dad was already in the first one, so
yeah. But I mean, by the time
but they're talking. She's talking about the second one when that came around.
the sequel or the midquel, like because Bambi was released in like the 40s.
But this means they recast the dad?
Yeah, because the dad's actors was dead by the time Bambi 2 came out.
That hasn't stopped Disney before.
In 2007, when this came out, yeah, it would have, because they didn't have the means to do that yet.
He's purposely being dumb, Lauren. If you play into it, he's going to keep doing it. It's like a begging dog or a crying child. You just got to ignore him.
Yeah, that's fair.
How dare you expose my methods like this?
All right, but yes, I'm gonna go with Bambi. So, Max.
Oh boy.
The animal movie or the Sleeping Beauty? I mean, this one.
Oh, don't you dare invoke my inner furry like that.
They're both old. I mean, Bambi also has the whole mating spring scene, so I'm gonna really touch into the furry. But
I mean, being the contrarian and to keep it interesting, I will actually vote for Sleeping Beauty, which I believe I did last time as well, didn't I? I mean, it ended up somewhere out here, so Lauren and I probably agreed on it over whatever the competition was.
It was Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Snow White. I voted Cinderella.
Sleeping Beauty fucking won out.
Yeah.
As sadly so often today with especially the older properties, it's I'm going to in large chunks by what left more of a lasting impression with me. And it's weird that it's not the animals now, isn't it? Yet here we are, and I see those bickering fairies with blue, pink, blue,
make it
pink,
make it pink, make it blue.
So then Maleficent, of course, another fantastic, iconic villain of classic Disney. While does Bambi have a villain? It has off-screen hunters. Yeah, I was about to say it has off-screen hunters. Off-screen hunters. It has fire. I mean, fire
hunters.
Is also true, but I need my villains to be dark, menacing, horned. I missed one great moment to say horny.
I mean,
damn it.
Golden, we are not
father is a
slandering
villain.
Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather in this household.
But okay,
But
we
yeah,
got one for
Sleeping
Bambi and
Beauty.
one for Sleeping Beauty. Lauren, you're the decider.
Are you furry? Are you furry or are you fairy?
Bambi would not make you a furry. There is nothing to be attracted to.
No, shut the fuck up. That is a lie. I know plenty of people who probably became furry because of the other deer in Bambi.
Is it Feline?
No, the deer that goes against Bambi.
Oh, Rano?
Yeah, the one that tries to.
The one that shows up for
dominance.
2 seconons to fight and then gets his ass whooped?
Yes, because in Bambi
Like
2, they made him a main character.
But yeah,
Yeah,
like
to be
the
fair,
squid-
he only got development because of the sequel. Like, they're like, oh, he's actually
Lauren,
established before.
like the squirrel girl in Sorcerer and the Stone. It doesn't need to be a lot of screen time and character.
Yes, I'm just saying, if you looked up the fucking Rano and Bambi, you're gonna find things you don't want to see.
Well, that's because he ended up getting development in the sequel.
I know. Yes, but here's the thing: there must have been some kind of demand. You know how many furries are in the entertainment industry. Someone saw Bambi as a kid and was like, I like that Rhino. Oh, I get to work for Disney Toons now and make a sequel. This is my time to
Lauren?
shine. Yeah, Lauren.
Wouldn't you agree, Lauren?
Anyway.
Oh, damn.
No, it's because, you know what? I'm trying to... Look, I'm still gonna vote Bambi, and that's literally because I freaking hate Sleeping Beauty as a character.
I almost got to the point of bullying her to vote for Sleeping Beauty to spite me at this point. But
like,
yes,
does Sleeping Beauty have the better villain? Yes. But does Bambi have, like, I like the whole concept of, again, growing up and seeing Bambi come from, you know, being a kid to growing up and to taking over as Prince of the Forest. Like, it's like, that's, I mean, I like that. And again, it's a simple story, and it doesn't have to be anything more than it sets out to be, which is a story about life, nature, you know, and the wonders and the horrible realities of it. And it's like, that's kind of like, that's important to kind of highlight. Sleeping Beauty, I'm sorry. Princess Aurora, sorry, you just, no, does nothing for me. So Bambi, you go there. You go there.
I mean, like, this conversation in a nutshell. Concepts of growing up and aging in the passage of time. I like the villain and the fairies. They're cool.
Sleeping Beauty has a dragon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sleeping Beauty has a dragon that breathes fire. Fire's cool.
Green fire. Fire.
Oh, okay.
And
Hello?
actually, if I could actually point out too, Chrissy, you may remember this too. When we went to the Academy Museum, was they have on display original frames from animation, rough animation for the frozen lake scene in Bambi, and how important and how crucial actually that was that they had that on display, because the whole story was, for people who don't know, the whole scene of Bambi on the pond, and Thumper teaching him how to skate on it. Is that was a scene that was supposed to be like, originally Walt wanted to cut it because he's like, this is pointless. Where's the point of this? And meanwhile, he's as an idea, and you had I think it was Frank Thomas who said, I will animate this, or I will give you a rough animation of this, and I will show you how, like, this is important for us to have these characters bond in this scene, and I will do it for you. And he's like, okay. And within like I think a handful of days, he did it, like 3 days. And he like handed him to him, all right, we'll keep it in. We'll keep the idea. And they did it. So we almost lost an iconic scene from Bambi for the sake of runtime. And he had an animator step and going, no. I think we need this. I think it'll nay. We're going to have this really cute scene, and it's gonna happen. And we have it now. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Now, into the furry category. We got classic furry, feral furry. We got the Rescuers and the Aristocats. All right, well, we should get our resident furry to pick this one. Lauren, what do you choose?
Hey, I see what you did.
She's gonna murder me.
Later.
Later.
I'm just saying, you saying later with your little happy smile PNG tuber is the most, like, terrifying aura.
But no, I'm like, so I personally like, I know it seems like, okay, you would think Rescuers with a very obvious, like, storyline, beginning, middle, and end. I mean, they're technically Aristocats does too, but I feel like it feels like it has more vignette moments in Aristocats, which I actually really like. Again, it feels it's in line with with the Jungle Book, in that you have moments with characters, even if they may not come back up again, or if they come back later for like a small nod, they're like, oh, it's nice to see them again, Aristocats does that really well. Rescuers, I feel like I don't get as attached to the characters in Rescuers, but I don't know, maybe that's just me. And the villain's great, like Medusa's great, but I feel like it's just like in general I feel like the Aristocats it's something where it's not an overly complicated story that feels like it allows the characters to be characters and to have like these simple little moments together and actually Edgar's he's insane and bitter, but he is funny because of just how extra he is. Like, he is literally getting, and actually, it's kind of funny when you have to think, oh, he's coming from an understandable place, like, don't do this, but you get why he does it, is like, yeah, if you worked your entire life for a lady who's going to be like, hey, I'm going to give my entire fortune to my freaking cat, screw you, anybody would probably be bitter.
I'd probably be a little bit salty, too.
Yeah, I'm like, so it's going like, he's not right to do it. I just say I get it. But it's
the thing is that he should have just ate the rich, not fuck the cats. Like,
yeah, for real. That's what it's like when he. And it is actually kind of funny though at the end when you have the showdown between him and all the cats and horse. But it's, I have to admit that is a freaking funny thing because you have to have the concept of he's fighting cats. This man was so desperate for the money from this old lady that he's just like, I will fight cats. But it was yeah, and then not to mention that the you got good music out of here. You got Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. It's a bop, even with the questionable racial representation in that one. But yeah, so anyway, my vote goes
cats.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. and it's always a Siamese cat too. I'm like, is that the Siamese one cat? Really? It's like one. Really? That's it? That's your one running.
They are Siamese.
Anyway, if you please.
But okay, so we got.
Or if you don't, please.
We got one for Aristocats, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go with Rescuers.
Oh boy.
In this cat and mouse game, I'm picking mouse. That's the title of this bracket: Cat versus Mouse.
I have a feeling this won't be the only time that there's a mouse in a showdown. So,
but I just think The Rescuers is a fun tale. I think that there's just good. I think it's just fun, and I feel more attached to it than Aristocats. I admittedly have not watched Aristocats as much as other Disney movies. I'm a dog person, so. And mice are kind of like dogs. They don't like cats, so I think that that's already the start of their similarities. I don't need to go too deep into this. I also love Miss Bianca. Miss Bianca is one of my favorites. She's a great character. Yeah, Zsa Zsa Gabor did a good job with her. So
yeah, that I can't deny. Like, well, again, it's like I think she's like the best character in the entire thing.
And think about this: does Aristocats have a sequel? No. So Rescuers provided at least a little bit more into the planet that it gave enough want for a sequel. It walked so its sequel could run.
Aristocats was close to having a series.
Close, but no cigar, Lauren. No cigar. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Rescuers. I just feel I vibe more with it than Aristocats. Max, you are the decider.
I am. Again, so much.
Does Predator or Prey win?
Oh! If you put it like this, it makes it even. Oh boy! Harder.
That is a valid point. These are both Zsa Zsa Gabor films.
Oh yeah, doesn't she play the mom in the?
Yeah, she plays Duchess. That's you know what? Thank you, cartoon cat girl. You know what? Thank you for calling that out.
Of course, cartoon cat girl would know a fact about the Aristocats.
There's the one thing that she does know, and it's all the actors in cat movies. Yeah. But yeah, which one would I pick? I would have to go with the Rescuers. I would say.
No, I that was more like ha, like it's saying ha to Lauren.
Damn, 3-3. I'm feeling some hate today.
I got. Here's the thing. Key seems to be exclusively on the winning side today because it's either unanimous or Lauren or me is singled out.
It's fine.
I see how it is.
It's fine. It's fine.
This is
Is it
where she
so?
gaslights
Is it
everyone
so?
else,
It's fine.
Tay.
It's fine.
But yeah, yeah, still going with rescuers since the Grand Adventure. I mean, from a music point of view, Aristocats would clearly take the cake. I mean, there's obviously background music. Oh no, we have the little girl is also singing, right? We have one of those typical little girl in capture sings to the heavens and hoping for
lullabies kind of thing.
exactly like praying for an angel to save her, and then the angel comes in form of two mice.
Can't you be kidnapped quietly?
Exactly, without being all like cutesy singing to the moon. But yeah, no. So overall, rescuers for like the more adventure. I mean, both speak to my furry for my inner furriness. So that's a win-win. But yeah, the grand adventure in rescuers is what takes the cake for me.
Well, there we go, rescuers. Now I think this one it's either going to be the easiest, or it's going to be a weird split thing again. Great Mouse Detective versus Meet the Robinsons. Lauren, you've been losing a lot today, so you're not going to go first. Max, what's your pick?
But who is taking stock? Am I right? To keep it interesting. To keep it interesting, I want to make a case for Meet the Robinsons.
Okay,
go
right ahead.
Can I actually do this in reality? So there is Bowler Hat Man, which with the big reveal and everything is like, whoa. But there's also kind of a weird lesson about, dude, you are just petty and stuck in your head, you little shit.
I know he's
They all hated me.
I love Bowler Hat Guy. He's one of the best.
Oh hi, how are you doing, Steve?
Wanna go play? Wanna hang out? They all hated me.
Then of course, there's a family in it with a lot of very well fleshed out and totally not over the top characters. Well, I dare to say that it's enough of a case made for Meet the Robinsons to keep it interesting.
I love throwaway votes. I will say Meet the Robinsons with the weird relatives does have one of my favorite jokes where they talk about the twins that like live in the flower pot. It's like, I don't, and then there's the twins. I don't know who they're related to. Neither do we.
Like they just showed up and go, all right.
Hey, we like a good found family trope here. I mean, it truly is found family. The guy's adopted.
Hey.
So I'm gonna go for Great Mouse Detective, as if this was a shock to anyone in the human populace. I do like Meet the Robinsons, don't get me wrong. I do think it's a very charming movie. I think, like, the ending where Bowler Hat Guy just walks away because he was going to almost get adopted into the Robinsons, and he just, like, accepts the consequences of his actions and just walk away. That's a really sad ending. Luckily, he doesn't get to exist after the boy gets adopted because, well, he gets a happy ending. So unless something petty happens to him in the future, he won't become Bowler Hat Guy again. But Great Mouse Detective, just high-flying action, fucking Basil, Ratigan. There's just so much about it that's like, how many characters can you really list from Meet the Robinsons?
I mean, they have so many, there must be some, right?
I can list Bowler Hat Guy, the T-Rex, and the Frog Guy. And they're all tangentially related to each other. Exactly. But I just think Great Mouse Detective is just the more memorable movie. It's not as clean as Meet the Robinsons, but that's what makes it memorable. So Lauren, you get to decide. In some way, you'll win.
See, I'm like, do I love both of these films? Yes. But do I see one as superior to the other in a number of respects? Yes.
Yes.
Great Mouse Detective for the win. So,
Yay!
and it's like, and I was about to say
Time.
to the point of, when you have an ensemble and you don't give enough time to the ensemble to let them be themselves, that's where I'm like, if you have an ensemble, I'd like to see more of them. And that's where I feel like if you had a Meet the Robinsons series, again, it's like where you have so much to focus on, so many things you can develop, then you should be able to have the room to do so. Meet the Robinsons, it focuses more on a handful of characters versus the ensemble. And then the problem is that you're supposed to be Meet the Robinsons. Well, you only meet like a few of them even. And the rest of them are there, but you don't get enough of them to get attached to them. You like it that they have the little quirks, but there's no other you don't get enough time with them to really appreciate them, and that sucks because they all seem like incredibly interesting characters, and that's the sin, is that we don't get enough time with them.
The
message is great.
Walked so Encanto can run, at least in
so
it's families.
Yeah, so it's like with the Great Mouse Detective, it's a fantastic adventure, a fantastic way to adapt a character from, and also just like, because Basil was also a book character too. Yes, obviously very much derived from Sherlock, duh.
But yeah, Basil of Baker Street is a book.
Yes. And to have, Vincent Price is the villain. You have an incredible, incredible climactic scene, which that it goes without saying that there's 6, and then you don't have a bajillion characters to focus on. You have a few, and you make them really fleshed out and well done, and just fun to follow. So that's where you have something great. And plus, I love me a good mystery, and it's a Sherlockian adventure, so it's fun.
Oh no, this one's gonna hurt me too. Hercules, My Birthright movie, released on my birth year, versus Atlantis, which has Milo in it. All right. Max, you go.
Oh Jesus, me.
Yes.
Oh no. Here's once again the thing that my personal attachment to Hercules is a lot higher because I watched it a lot earlier in life, and I loved it. I watched it up and down. It was the one Disney movie that was so not typical Disney before Emperor's New Groove came along. Mm-hmm. With Emperor's New Groove, and I see it already down on the screen, coming up, it basically took the non-Disneyness and did it on a whole new level. Where Hercules was just silly shenanigans and fun, but also great music, something new. Atlantis, I got, I believe, introduced to through you, Key. Yeah. I don't think I have watched it nearly often enough to truly appreciate, for example, the entire cast of the gang, not the gang, the crew, whatever you want to call them, where you have all those characters. I believe from an objective point of view, Atlantis probably, it's also hard to compare, like you have a very serious adventure movie, like with bigness and epicness to it, and then you have this over-the-top silly
Las Vegas musical.
Yes, basically. Exactly. So comparing those two is already brutal. While I would say that Atlantis is clearly the more competent one, the more cleaner one, the more structured one, I do like my silly madness, which is why my vote goes to Hercules, believe it or not.
We gotta rewatch Atlantis sometime.
I guess we have to, yeah?
Yeah, so you can...
Because I have the feeling I might be... I believe it or... I might be
really
wrong on
all
this
your
one.
Boxes, though. Like...
It should, shouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, Lauren, what do you think?
Oh.
I know,
I like the... Because I like the ensemble in Atlantis so much. And again, the real criminal thing is we don't get enough time with him because Vinny alone, I need more time with him.
Oh
No more
my,
Chinese
we
laundry.
just
I'm
We just
talking about
learned-
the fact that he's freaking funny, okay? That
We
he
just
improvised all his
learned-
lines.
we just learned Lawrence type, alright?
Stop bullying me!
Which one is Winnie again?
Vinny is the explosive guy. You know, the guy who's like, don't do anything except breathe and pray. And
my point is that he's funny, and I would like to have more moments to see him be funny because all of his stuff was pretty much improvised. So that's why I'm like, I would love to have more moments where you can actually have, and that's not just him, like to be able to have all of the characters. You have Dr. Sweet, you had like, you had Mole, you had all the, like, you had a ton of characters in there that I'm like, I'm glad they had the campfire scene alone just to have like that moment where you get a little glimpse into each of them. And it's, and having them be kind of like friends with each other, which is nice. But the villain is so botched in Atlantis. It's just another, like, it's, swear to God, it's like another Clayton instance
but he has
where
such a good line though. If you get the golden Cupid
doll.
Such a good line.
His demise was actually pretty brutal too. Like,
performance is really
mad
good.
props.
Like,
Yeah. I just feel like
the guy who plays him is the one who says, "You beautiful bastard, I read your book." God, what's his name? George C. Scott. Is that who played him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and yes, Spot. It wasn't a redo. It was basically, yes, that SNL actor just using his Father Sarducci voice for the character.
I also like the person who wrote Atlantis Should Come Back with, and I know they abbreviated it to be a live action remake, but I read it as an LA remake, and I was like, what? Atlantis, LA.
But yeah, anyway. But to give some time here to Hercules, this one has a very I know it's got its problems, but it's like it has a very special place in my heart. Hercules is, again, I'm a sucker for musicals. I'm a sucker for, like, again, it was like that. I love the characters in Hercules. Like, I know they don't have to be accurate to freaking Greek mythology. Okay, we all know that, like, Hera was a petty bitch who hated Hercules. So
She was a loving mother. Jesus, haven't you watched the one movie that counts?
And we all know Zeus's reputation. So anyway, and we all know what happened with
A
Hercules
loving monogamous father.
Totally.
So I'm like, so if you're looking at it in just this interpretation of the story, and Hades is one of the best villains. Okay, the fact that James Woods was like, how about if I handle the character like a scummy lawyer? Like, what if I did that? And then they're like, sure, let's try it. And they're like, oh no, it works. Let's keep it. So anyway, and so that's why it's kind of like, again, when you had like Robin Williams be Genie, there was no, and you just could not replicate it no matter how hard you tried. It's James Woods being Hades. You couldn't replicate it. And that's when they didn't, because they kept getting James Woods to be Hades in every incarnation of his character. So, but it was, just don't look at his Twitter history. But anyway.
Guys.
What?
Live action Hercules remake.
I mean, they're making a Broadway musical, so that's,
different. The Broadway musical's fine.
I was about to say, the musicals, the Disney musicals already usually do good. They are not like money grabbing soulless atrocities.
So I'm like, is it? And you know, I sit here with a framed. A framed piece of my art that I did was like, it was the Hercules 20th anniversary print that I did for Equestria LA, and it's signed by Susan Egan, who is the voice of Meg, and and Meg's one of my favorite of the Disney heroines.
So
it's
you're
just like
voting for Hercules?
Iconic. So I'm gonna do Hercules. I can't turn my back on Hercules.
Why both of you are wrong.
Somebody's securing the victory.
Can we do a
very
point
early
that's
on.
not just Milo then?
No. I would also like to bring up Exhibit K. I mean, does Hercules have Kida? I don't think so.
As Meg.
Yeah, but Kida's hotter. Like,
I like that the arguing point for right now is like, okay, but these two characters are hot.
yeah, well, look, Meg can't flip a man over her shoulder in one fell swoop. Hida could fucking kick ass and take names. She's cool. Love her. And also, I mean, like, also, come on. You're gonna say no to a movie that has this frame?
Hey, who put a mirror up on the internet?
Shut up, Max.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I
Then
don't
again-
like that either.
Then again, you would not catch me dead having circular round glasses outside of a cosplay.
I know, I mean, also to ask, how open are you to cosplaying night? Conversation for another time. But fine, Hercules will overtake Atlantis. I'm not happy about this. Worst.
You know what? I had 3 losses.
Hercules!
You can take one bullet.
Yeah, but it's Hercules. It's a god bullet. All right, so this one's gonna be interesting. So, I just got to move the screen up so we can see it because my fucking head's covering it up. So let me just scoot over here. Hi. Okay. Wait, I gotta flip me over so I can see it. There we go. Frozen versus Tangled. Now this one's been like a long-standing argument with people.
Oh boy, why did we set ourselves up for that? It will be a massacre.
Yes.
Remember the Tumblr days of Rise of the Frozen Tangled Dragons?
Oh god, no, stop it. I don't like that. I don't like remembering those things.
Wait. Rise of the Frozen Tangled Dragons.
It was like an AU that people put together where
They mashed together all of those things.
Yeah, to shared universe. People made AMVs of them and like Tumblr edits.
Because that's when they shipped Jack Frost and Elsa together.
Guys, the full title is Rise of the Big Brave Tangled Frozen Dragons, apparently.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had the Brave. Yes, they had Brave in there. Oh, and then sometimes with Hotel Transylvania. So they get Rise of the Brave Frozen Tangled Dragons of Transylvania.
And
they had that too.
And of course, the 2 Frosties get shipped.
Oh god.
Yep.
Oh. They only put Hotel Transylvania in there so people could be with Mavis, the goth vampire.
Yes, that's the only reason.
Goth girls.
It's a noble reason, and I can appreciate it.
Okay, so Frozen and Tangled. I already know my answer. I'm gonna go with Tangled. Tangled's just a great movie. It's so much fun. It looks beautiful. Mother Gothel is a fantastic villain, and I hate her to bits, and I love that I hate her. And like, the music is so good. There's also just so many like really, really good scenes. Like an oh my god, this is fantastic. Like Rapunzel realizing that she's the princess. Like that whole realization scene is wonderful. Rapunzel meeting her parents. That scene just that and the little silent scene before the king and queen released their lantern fucking broke me because they're both silent scenes. They don't say anything to each other. It's just you could read in their expressions just everything. It's like, oh my god, this hurts good. And also Eugene is just one of the best Disney men. We need more men like Eugene. Like don't be a fucking Eric men watching this. Be a Eugene. That's my standard, and that's what you gotta meet. So I'm gonna pick Tank because Frozen's not a bad movie. The first one's not a bad movie by any means. It's fun. I saw it in theaters. Like it's a like again stunning movie. The music's great. Idina plays Elsa really well.
The wickedly talented Adele
Idina
Dazeem.
Menzel. No, it was Adele Dazeem. Is that what John Travolta called her?
Yes, as he said, the wickedly talented. He thinks he's got it in the back. Adele Dazeem, and we're like, what the fuck?
How do you get that out of Idina Menzel?
No idea.
But here's the thing. I just think Frozen's kind of decayed with watching it more. Because there's just so much of it where it's like, I mean, there's the obvious of like, the twist is kind of bullshit. Like that they had too much in the movie to push Hans being a good guy that the twist just feels disingenuous. Like so many scenes of him just being a good person and like seeing and like looking at Anna like so lovingly without it being for self-gain, that it's just kind of like, no, I don't believe you. I fucking hate the rock trolls, like most lukewarm take of the century, but like I fucking hate those rock trolls.
That's why I'm like, I stand by the theory that somebody said it's just like they cast a spell to make Hans evil and turn on her so that they can get Kristoff hooked up. I'm like, yeah, I'm 100% on that.
But like, and also just the whole like logic of Elsa hiding her powers from Anna and all this stuff. It's just, there's too many logical fallacies in it, and I'm someone who can suspend their disbelief a lot. And even I am kind of like, this is stupid. So yeah, I'm going to go with Tangled. Because healing hair is a little bit more graspable of a concept to me. What about you, Lauren?
I'm in the same ballpark of Tangled. Wins over from over Frozen for me. And for a lot of those reasons. And plus, as much as I'm like, the plot is fine in Frozen 1. Certainly better than Frozen 2. They chickened out at the end when they could have just destroyed the kingdom and actually done something with that. But no. But anyway, the music's fine. But with Tangled,
come on, Lauren, let it go.
Don't you dare.
Okay, we're just gonna put him in timeout. Where there we are. Just gonna take you.
I don't hate Frozen. I just certainly prefer Tangled over Frozen in terms of rewatchability. Plus, it's like I do over, when I think about the soundtracks that I'll actually go back and listen to on like a more consistent basis. After I wrote out like the Frozen hype, I realized I kept going back to the Tangled one, and I'm like, time and time again, I would go back to the Tangled one, and it was like, I don't know, it was something. I have no other way to describe it than it's like, I mean, I See the Light is one of those just like, it's just one of those perfect Disney songs. And it's just like, it's beautifully done.
When Will My Life Begin? I think that's one
and
of the
that's a fun one too.
Yeah, I love, and also, this show brought us the Tangled animated series, which I love.
Which is peak, by the way. Go watch that if you haven't. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's, I'm like, I don't know. Did Frozen get the TV series? No, they just got a bunch of freaking Olaf spin-offs.
Did Frozen get the actor who played Eugene to come back to be in Kingdom Hearts because he's a fucking nerd and demanded to be in a Kingdom Hearts game if they put Tangled in it? No.
Exactly. It's
really funny to watch Kingdom Hearts' Tangled footage because the other actress who plays Rapunzel is so obviously not Mandy Moore, but then you just have Zachary Levi in there to be Eugene.
I'm really happy to be here.
I'm just happy to be here. But Max, do you have any case to make for Frozen, or are you joining us in the Tangled squad?
I'll let you know I have a case to make.
Are you in the corner?
I'm still in the corner, yes.
Well, come back here. I don't have you in a corner. I just have you upside down.
Being upside down has a similar effect of on sound. Everybody knows that.
Totally.
Also, it's fun how I'm actually, because my character looks up when he talks, so now he actually looks to you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I know, right? Anyways, here, I want to make a case. So,
okay,
a very easy one. We do a direct comparison.
Okay.
So, we have quirky female character in Frozen. We have Anna. Mm-hmm. And in Tangled, we have Rapunzel. Mm-hmm. I guess this is actually a relatively even one. So, this could go both ways. We have animal side characters. In Frozen, we have, what's the name of the elk again?
Sven.
Sven. We have Sven, who can't even talk. He's not even really sentient unless we count Kristoff's hallucinations or projections.
I love you.
And And on the other hand, we have Maximilian, the horse.
The best horse. Best boy.
I know.
Best horse.
We have Frozen. We have the villain of Prejudice, of Eric, of Weaselton, and in Tangled we have Mother Gothel, and maybe even a little bit the twins. So, by the way, aren't the twins basically also in Frozen as a henchman?
Kinda, yeah.
They look kind of identical, don't they? Yeah, Tangled, whatever.
Yay! Tangled.
Yay.
Okay, so I know Max is totally excited for the last competition of the evening.
You both are going to butcher good taste.
Okay. Here's the thing. I'm going to let you decide. Max, do you want to go first to make a case for Emperor's New Groove? What placement do you want to go in for making an argument?
I guess, is it already a decided case? Maybe I can make a good enough case that one of you gets into shaking.
I feel
It's
like you're going to be
shit.
surprised by things, my friend.
Am I now?
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, sure, if you offer, then I might try to go first.
Go right ahead. Ladies
yeah, I mean-
first.
Exactly, and God knows, between the three of us, I'm the person who can rock a dress the second best.
Alright, go ahead.
So, yeah, Hunchback of Notre Dame. Obviously, it's a big one. It's I'm not sure if is it officially the Renaissance. It's in the heart of the Renaissance, right? Is this the time era?
Hunchback is in the Renaissance, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's one of the really big hitters. It's most bombastic, like da 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 da, like
It's
nice
a very bigger than
goosebump
life
moments.
movie, yes.
Yes, absolutely. And heaviness and still managing to take a story that is even darker outside of Disney to Disneyfy it and still remain some of the darkness, which is not necessarily typical for Disney because they like to family friendly the shit out of it. But here we have like the Temptation song Hellfire. Oh wait, this is actually the same like the dongs in the beginning, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Anyways.
They have like a motif that goes through
Yep.
this, yes.
Whoa, there's some music theory woven into this.
Oh, real talk though, the music theory in Hunchback's actually like really fascinating, especially with how many parallels Quasimodo's like music cues have with Frollo's and all that. Like, God, I love that movie.
And especially immediately when you have Quasimodo singing about Heaven's Light, and you are immediately followed up by a song called Hellfire.
Oh, yeah,
like, come on.
I mean, that's why I personally refuse to listen to Hellfire unless I listen to Heaven's Light beforehand, which is how it's listed on the soundtrack, because I feel like it makes Hellfire better. But continue, Max, continue.
But so what I'm hearing, what you are saying, like musically interwoven characters. So Hunchback of Notre Dame is basically the Goofy movie. Is this what you're saying, with a father and son having musically interwoven themes?
Totally, Max. Totally.
I knew it.
You're not mincing my words at all to fit your personal puzzle.
I have no idea what you're referring to. Anyways, so yeah. Without a doubt, Hunchback is a big one. So we are not talking about a bad movie. But at the end of the day, it is. On the other hand, we have Emperor's New Groove, which, as I pointed out earlier, with who was it again? The other funny one, Hercules, who actually already won against Atlantis. Do I have to say more? Hercules already beat Atlantis. Do we really need to have this discussion again? We know that the Emperor's New Groove is superior. No. As we established, Hercules walked, so Emperor's New Groove could run.
Sorry, I like Matt Hatterson in the chat saying, Max, what have you done? I'm picturing Goofy being Frollo. What have you done?
You're welcome.
Oh, God. Can we commission Lauren to draw a Goofy singing Hellfire? Like, in, like, the robes?
Okay, but the real question is, who is he lusting after?
I probably Pete's wife from Goof Troop.
I was
maybe?
about to say.
Peggy!
Yeah, or we bring back the librarian from the second or third Goofy movie.
True, I do like them together, but let's just saying, as all three of us have probably watched Goof Troop, fucking Pete's wife wanted to fuck Goofy so bad. Like, she was all over him all the time. I mean, if you're married to someone like Pete...
I was about to say.
I don't know how that happened.
If your next door neighbor is just this exact opposite of your...
this weird fat cat man, then yeah, I think Goofy would be the more attractive option. But yeah, so you're gonna go with Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, because it was breaking the Disney mold. It did something more or less extraordinary for Disney, except for the fact that Hercules went into a similar direction not too long before. But it also is on itself. It's like it's a firework. It has so much energy. It's a wild journey. It is funny as hell. It's like, as a comedy, it's fantastic. I mean, look at the cultural impact that it had. No? Yeah, you can have the entire going towards a waterfall meme. So many things about Yzma. The wrong lever meme. Decades later,
being best princess. Like, there's so much in it. There's Emperor's New Groove may not have like made millions at the box office, but it definitely stuck in the public zeitgeist.
Exactly. Does anybody here have a problem? I'm a cow. Can I be excused? Okay, make over.
That's my favorite. One of my favorite. Like, it's a very subtle joke because some people don't catch it. It's because it's literally, hey, I've been turned into a cow. Can I go home? You're excused. It's like it's going until the cows come home. That's the joke. And like, it's like
my two favorite jokes from Emperor's New Groove is probably Cusco going, "Yay, I'm lava!
Wait,
and then the other one, which is Yzma and Kronk planning the thing, and it's like, can we have dinner? Kronk, we're trying to assassinate him. What about coffee? Okay, a quick cup of coffee. Like, yeah, it's
okay. Real talk. My dad and I quote that part a lot because every time it comes down to like if we're gonna figure out if we're gonna have dessert, it's like I'm like, well, I suppose we'll have time for dessert, and he's always like, and coffee.
Yeah,
fine, a quick cup of coffee.
The movie's just written so well. Like,
but you see it. It's like as fantastic and from an artistic point of view, as big as Hunchback of Notre Dame is. It doesn't carry that strong of an impact that we are sitting here and exchanging our favorite quotes, our favorite moments from the movie. We all agree on Hellfire, but after that, it kind of fizzles out.
I mean, I know one of my favorite lines from it. It's not. It's actually from a gargoyle. Which I know, hot take, but it's basically
they're the only comic relief you get in this movie.
My other favorite moment is when Frollo meets Phoebus at the jailhouse place, and he's like, "I'm so glad you're here, our last guy." And then you just hear someone getting whipped and screaming in pain. And you see Frollo look over with a smirk. Like, that's fantastic. But one of my favorite lines that I quote is just from the gargoyles looking over, seeing the Feast of Fools setting up, and Jason Alexander's gargoyle is just like, "Oh look, a mime," and spits.
And just starts hawking a loogie. I'm like, oh no.
I'm sorry. I'm just really like, oh look, a mime. And the thing is, I thought for the longest time that he said, "Oh look, a nun," which I wish it was true because that would be so much funnier. I want Jason Alexander to spit on a nun, and don't take that out of context. But I mean, like, oh god, now I'm just remembering more Emperor's New Groove moments. Like, we're on our honeymoon. Thank you for leaving the house. But okay, so we got
happy birthday.
You didn't tell me it was
thanks
your
for
birthday.
coming out in public.
Thanks for coming out in public. Oh, God. That entire exchange with Cusco and Yzma going through the revolving doors and knowing that Hill out the chef was also so
Make my
good.
potatoes salad.
All right, so that's one for Emperor's New Groove. Lauren, what do you think?
So
We're the artsy one here, so.
So the soundtrack, holy crap. The soundtrack for Hunchback of Notre Dame is so freaking, I mean, for lack of a word and pardon the
Thank
pun,
you,
fire.
Cartoon Cat Girl. Now I remember the line that mixes in with the spitting on a mime is he tells the Victor Gargoyle to go scare a nun, and I do love that. Go scare a nun. God. Anyway, sorry.
But yeah, so it was so I love the soundtrack, and I love the dark elements of it. However, I feel like because there are so many instances where the tone doesn't know where it wants to align, because they're trying to like be like, it's heavy but not too heavy, it's heavy but not too heavy, and I feel so bad because if they had just fully committed to the dark stuff a lot more than, like, I mean, it's fine to have the gargoyles in there. Actually, I'm going to defend that it's fine to have a little bit of that levity. It's some of the action scenes where they treat it like cartoon comedy. That's where I'm like, it kind of throws off some of that for me.
True, but Lauren, you got to admit, the guy getting released from the cage, be like, I'm free.
I give him a pass too. I give him a pass. I'm free. Dang it. And
Hunchback's also one of the few Disney movies that has a visible nut shot in it. And I don't know how I feel about it having that distinction, because it happens during the chase for Esmeralda, and one of the guys on stilts gets kicked in the groin, and I was like, why is this one of the few Disney animated films that has a nut shot? Of all films...
Yeah, see, that's where I'm like, with Hunchback, that's where I'm like, I'm glad that they ended up adapting it to like the Broadway musical, or somewhat Broadway. I don't think ever really
that was
fully
in English in Germany, and then they came to America for like a week, and then they closed it.
Yeah, and it's sad because, yeah, it was like at the La Jolla Playhouse in San Diego, which is like where a lot of shows like launch stateside. If they're, you know, or in outside of New York, they'll have a lot of like preview shows at the La Jolla Playhouse. And I remember watching the recording and going, this is what we deserved. This is the kind of stuff we deserved, and we didn't get that. It's like it commits to the bit and goes darker than its predecessor, and I'm like, that's good. I'm like, man, it's like, but yeah. So on the other hand, you have a very totally different movie.
No, so totally different.
But it does know what it wants to be.
I mean,
that's the thing. It commits to the
both.
bit.
I mean, to make a point here, both movies start with a baby abuse. Okay, in one, it's throwing it down, threatening to throw it down in a well, while the other one is about spoiling it to death. But it's child abuse. Sorry, continue.
Wait, is it though? Is it really?
Yes, because
who turned out the more broken soul who needed fixing, Quasimodo or Cusco? Huh? Ironically, Cusco.
I hate
that's like technically Cusco's the one that needed to learn a lesson.
I hate that the upside down man has a point. But that was the thing. I was actually.
Well, I'm like, that's what I'm saying.
Emperor's New Groove too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna probably piss off a lot of people here, but I'm gonna be in the Emperor's New Groove Part 2.
And I'm gonna join you in the pissing off thing, because I was in the Emperor's New Groove. Because here's the thing. Emperor's New Groove and Hunchback are in my top list for my favorite films of all time. So, and I think they're tied. So, either way, I win. But the thing is, I
did not see this coming. Coming.
Are you pleasantly surprised?
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, I love Hunchback. Hunchback is one of my biggest artistic inspirations, and I absolutely adore it. I think Esmeralda is a fantastic character. That not much has been said about her so far, and that makes me mad. I love her. I think God's Help the Outcasts is one of the most beautiful songs that Disney's ever made, and like it gives me chills. Like, that's how you do to the point lyrics, Pocahontas. Like, having those people at the church being like, I ask for wealth, I ask for fame, I ask for glory to shine on my name. Like, that, like...
I ask
that
for
whole-
love, and then you go,
that-
oh, and then I can possess, and you're like, oh.
Ah, it's so good! But
It's just like the pause between love and then I can possess.
yes.
Is like, it's so poignant, because you think it's that moment of somebody being different, and then nope, they're all asking for the same things, and that's why. And then you have the parallel of Esmeralda being like, I ask for nothing, I can get by, but I know so many less lucky than I. I'm like, that is like
that song is so. I know everyone acknowledges Hellfire, and Hellfire is great, but to me, God Help the Outcast is my favorite song on the entire soundtrack. But I love Hunchback. Like, don't get me wrong here. However, I do think that it gets hindered by the fact that it still needed to be a Disney PG rated film. I don't even remember if it was PG or G here in America. Like, what its age rating was, because I feel like they had to skirt so much, which is so hard with something like Hunchback, which Hunchback is dark, like, and they were able to achieve a lot more and get away with a lot more than they could before. I don't think many Disney movies can get away with perverted hair sniffing, but you know, that's the thing, is that it just suffers from tonal dissonance a lot simply because of it. And I like the Gargoyles. I am in the camp of they shouldn't have contributed to the fight on the church at the end. I like them being an imaginary friend, but I understand they needed it to stall enough time so Quasi could get to passed out Esmeralda and everything. But, you know, what you gonna do? To me, basing it off what we got, Emperor's New Groove is just more put together. It's just stronger in that there's no tonal dissonance, and the times that they do have a quiet moment, the times that they actually have like Cusco showing emotion or showing the actual sincere friendship between Pacha and Cusco, because Pacha is more of a dad to Cusco than anything.
It's kind of true.
It happens more organically than a comedic moment happening in Hunchback, if that makes sense. So, like, and also Tom Jones is in the Emperor's New Groove soundtrack. That's not in Hunchback, so 1 point to Emperor's New Groove. Because do you have the person who sung the Duck Dodgers theme song singing Hellfire? I wish that was a reality, but we don't. So yeah, by some people, shock, awe, and maybe disgust, Emperor's New Groove is going to go up against Tangled. Emperor's New Groove may make it very far, I'm realizing.
As it should. As it should.
But yeah, with that,
we made it through the,
Yeah.
What are we? This is a finale, quarter-finale, octa-finale. We are on the final 16, aren't we? Plus, of course, the mystery challenger in the middle, so 17.
Yeah, we may actually get through this next episode.
Damn, I did not expect us to manage to go back to plan.
I know, but with that, folks, the lineups for next episode are Fantasia 2000 versus Encanto, Bambi versus The Rescuers, The Great Mouse Detective versus Hercules. Oh man, that one's gonna hurt. Tangled versus Emperor's New Groove.
That's gonna hurt.
101 Dalmatians versus Moana. Oh,
I have a feeling I know the winner there.
We're gonna commit animal crimes. Peter Pan versus Alice in Wonderland. That's actually a very interesting combo.
Good matchup.
Jungle Book versus Aladdin. And Sword in the Stone versus Raya and the Last
Okay,
Dragon.
that's not a... Oh.
And
some of those are going to be easier than others.
Yeah, Left Side is continuing the streak of having the harder competitions I'm seeing. But,
yeah.
But Max, I guess this raises the question: how many are left that you haven't watched, or have we cleaned the slate of the ones that you've seen or not?
I mean,
See, I have a theory of some of the films that he had on this list that he hasn't seen that he's been bullshitting. Because I know you said you have quite a... I do think you have not seen the 2011 Winnie the Pooh movie. That is not a film I think you, of all people, would have actually sought after, like, seek out. I also don't think that you've seen Fantasia 2000. I don't believe you.
Okay, those are your guesses.
Yeah,
we can listen for more. So to answer your question without giving too much away, we entered today with already having gotten rid of some of my lies in the preliminaries, and we overcame some of my lies today as well. But there's still some left.
What? You're not going to give us a binary number?
Of course not.
All right. Lauren, what do you think? Out of the ones that we've gone through today, ones that have lost and won, which ones do you think Max lied about?
I'd say about like 3 or 4 of them.
Ah.
But which ones?
Yeah, which ones do you think? Which ones just don't
I
seem like Max
I agree on Fantasia 2000.
Uh-huh.
I agree on Winnie the Pooh.
Most certainly. Would Max be the person to not watch Lady and the Tramp?
Probably. I would also say he hasn't seen Sword in the Stone.
No, I disagree. The Sword in the Stone seems like one that Max would watch. Like that, I think that's like a quintessential, like, when you had, like, that was like a VHS.
I feel like so many people don't know about Sword in the Stone, though, so that's where I come from.
Yeah, but Sword in the Stone also got, like, a lot of watch through with home media release compared to theaters.
All right.
Let's keep in mind, Max has also seen Black Cauldron, so...
Do you assume that I only know Sword in the Stone from the meme with the squirrel girl? From Tumblr?
I mean...
Maybe you found out.
There's a lot of people that absorb stuff through osmosis and memes, so...
Yeah, it's true. I can't wait to figure out the ones that you actually have been bullshitting about. This is going to be fun.
Here's a true big twist. I have not seen Emperor's New Groove and only know the memes.
Okay, that's an emphatic lie.
It is, but it would be a fun idea. Or fun reveal.
I know for a fact that you've seen it. I remember when you were like fucking sick in bed before Equestria LA, we sat in your bed and watched Emperor's New Groove because you were just so sick and not feeling well that you wanted to have a comfort movie on. Which, I mean, like, I know that feeling. When I was sick, I watched Hunchback of Notre Dame, ironically enough, because I got sick right after you. Ah, God. But yes, thank you everyone for joining. And when we come back, we will probably finish this and see.
Yeah, I mean, we will be able to, for sure.
Yes, and remember, I usually post the current status of the bracket on Twitter, and I'm sure if you go to my Twitter, you'll find the bracket with our choices post-preliminary on there if you want to make your own decisions and show us. I cannot wait. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and you have watched 3 idiots ramble about Disney movies for about 3 hours.